Wowhead commenters that are just objectively good people.
I was saying how there are like some actually really good Wowhead comments, but obviously that's not who we were specifically talking about. We were talking about the people on like whenever there's a new post saying like, oh, buffs and nerfs to classes, and then you just have that one idiot saying, where's my hunter buff?
Yeah. There was a couple others. I really wish I would have remembered them, but there was a couple of times where people were like, you totally forgot about this person. And then they briefly described them, and I'm like, oh my god, you're so right. Like, that was like, I mean, we did a 4-hour thing, so we covered a lot of WoW archetypes, but there were a few, and I wish I would have remembered them that were like so dead on. Like, holy shit, you see this person all the time.
Oh, the one I wanted to include was boosty and boosted.
Yeah,
or booster.
I mentioned it during the like second half of our record or whatever, but then we forgot to do it at the end.
Well, let's do it now.
All right.
Wait, what do you mean the boosty and the booster? What are your general thoughts on it, Dorky? So you just mean the person that is getting boosted in content versus the person that does the boosting?
Yeah. It's got to be negative, right?
How so?
Well, because nobody likes boosters. Like they, for the most part, are bad for the game.
Yeah.
Like it invalidates the achievements of people who actually earned, say, title or cutting edge or whatever it is, or cutting edge mount.
I think on the M plus side, it's worse because like you're taking away a title slot from somebody.
Yeah, if you're boosting it, yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking more raid boosting, and I think it's mostly harmless. Like the person that hates the raid boosty is the person who gets like cutting edge Hall of Fame boosted. That person is harmless. Like that, like whether someone has that and it doesn't change anything, right? They're not taking that spot from anyone. Why do you care if someone else acquired gold and then got that, right? But I think it's the person that maybe like claims that they did it, like, hey, I achieved this, but they're just lying about it. I can tell you from this has happened before with us. We've done carries and like someone will reach out to me and be like, hey, this guy like said they were in liquid. Could you confirm that? And I'm like, no, obviously they weren't. And then I don't know how many times that's happened and someone didn't even bother reaching out to me because that's a very obviously public and like researchable thing, whether that was true or not. But it's really rare. Like I think most people who buy things get things. I guess they're the boosty, right? The boosty. They are. They don't have the time, but they want the achievement, and they pay for it. And I don't know if that is negative to anyone really, unless I guess they're really obnoxious about it, which I think is again something is pretty memorable, but I think pretty rare.
Yeah, it's definitely rare. I mean, so for M plus side, it's also if you have boosted 14s, you can probably get into 14 keys easier, and maybe you don't really belong in 14s. So that is a problem to a lot of players.
That sounds really bad.
Yeah, and on the raid side, right? Like even just getting boosted to AOTC and then using like AOTC is kind of hard. Getting boosted to AOTC costs like 500k or something, right? And then maybe less now, right? Like that price goes down over time pretty rapidly, and then you get invited. But on the other hand, the people who are requiring AOTC for invites to stuff that shouldn't require AOTC are also not great, right? So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of, there's ickiness on a lot of sides with the whole boosting thing.
The booster goaded.
Yeah. Right, of course.
I feel pretty strongly that the people doing booster are excellent people.
Yeah, I mean, on a kind of big picture level, the idea of an MMO where you can like play the auction house and then use your gold that you earned from that to, pay a group of adventurers to slay a dragon for you is kind of, that's kind of awesome, right? That's kind of like the heart of a, thriving MMO economy.
That's why
there's definitely a lot of
never be removed.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's like people are like, well, boosting should be banned. It's like it's kind of the fundamental concept of like MMOs is why boosting exists. You can do that. Now, a lot of people will be cynical and be like, well, no one's actually just playing the auction house. They're just like buying WoW tokens or buying gold. And a lot of the times you're right.
Yeah.
And before there was a WoW token, they were buying it just as much, just illicitly. That's a real thing, That sucks. No one else like literally pay to winning in that case is a little tough.
Yeah, and even people who do boosting often we do boosting because there are a lot of gold costs associated with the content we do, right? And Would we prefer a world where those costs didn't exist and then we didn't do boosting? Yeah,
Bro,
right.
this patch is so bad, by the way. The tariffs are hitting so hard. Like, consumables are so goddamn expensive.
Tariffs.
It's awful, man. Like, I don't even know how I play M+ nowadays. I swear to God, consumables are so ridiculously expensive. Gems and enchants, all that stuff. It's out of control. I need to start boosting my ass off. People are gonna hate me for
the
it.
thing is it like repeats itself, right? Like if you okay, so someone in my chat asked me like, what would you do if boosting was banned? And I was like, I don't really know what else we would do. Like that's like the most efficient way to get gold. You'd have to find a new way to get gold, but also it would completely change the market. If boosting wasn't in the game, that would remove so much gold that like everything would cost so much less.
Yeah, like a huge percent because of how expensive the boosts are. Even though they're rare, right? Like a boosting transaction is a lot rarer than anything else in the game. It's for like 10 million gold sometimes, right? Like if you're buying a cutting edge, especially early in a patch, right? You're paying gold caps, right? And that is just such a high chunk of where gold's value comes from for a lot of players. Is they're involved on one side or the other of a boosting exchange. So yeah, it would change the economy in a big way.
It costs us about 1 billion gold in fees every time we do a race by paying helpers, buying BUEs, which there's almost none of this time. It's like almost that, right? So every 5 months we are just putting 1 billion gold into the hands of just regular WoW raiders that help us in our runs, and that would be almost completely removed, or those numbers would be significantly less, and then that's how markets work, right? They all like adjust off of that.
You know, I will say one thing I've been really hating about how people use their gold recently is there's a lot of item buying in raids. It causes this whole culture of every single person just need rolling on every single possible item, and whenever they win it, they're just trying to sell it. Like Curios in raid or House of Cards, right? If you manage to loot a House of Cards, you'll get like 10 people whispering you, can I buy that? Can I buy that? Can I buy that? So it incentivizes players to not ever pass on loot they don't need. Like everyone's just needing on loot that they don't even need, and it's really annoying because everyone's just trying to make gold out of it, which makes sense. But like this wasn't a thing before.
Well, was this so I actually am trying to figure out how this works. So if you have a House of Cards on heroic eye level, at least how it's supposed to work, I think, is you cannot roll need and win on House of Cards that drops on heroic, correct?
Unless it drops with a turret, which is funny.
Unless it drops with a tertiary. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. So basically the people that are doing that are people who either need House of Cards or are loot eligible for it, but don't actually want the trinket.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they'll
or
roll
like
need
say
on it just to sell to people.
Yeah, or say like, you know, like you're a Mistweaver main, but you can roll on agility staff, and you'll just do it because like you can tell it off. So you're just gonna lead on it anyways.
So I think how that works is I believe you can roll need on all things that are on your off spec or not your main loot spec, but you will not win that item over someone who is rolling for it on their main.
But you can set your loot spec to
Yeah, you
what
can
you're
go
not.
into a boss and you can be like, oh yeah, this one drops the Agi staff. I'm loot spec Windwalker.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
no
It's
real
really
way to
common with
combat
tank
that.
trinkets. Yeah, because like as a tank, you know, like so there's only 2 tanks in raid, right? But you have all these bunch of idiots that like will set their loot to tank loot spec for a certain boss that drops tank trinkets because that makes you loot eligible. And if they manage to win the loot, like they're not gonna need it, but they'll take it anyways to try to sell it off.
That's
Yeah.
kind of like, go ahead, Darren. Dranos.
Well, it's just like there's a hierarchy of needs as well, right? Like if you roll on a tank trinket that's 30 rune crests for you, right? Like say a Gallywix heroic tank trinket, you haven't upgraded all those in that slot, and that tank trinket then represents like saving crests for you. Is your need greater? Like should you be allowed to roll need on that against somebody who is actually a tank and wants to use that thing for M+ or whatever, or for raid, right? Like it's a good tank trinket. Same with like I saw there was a big discussion on Reddit about LFR. People like Mythic Raider goes into LFR and rolls need on an item because they want the Mog, and it's like, is that sketchy?
Yeah.
Is that allowed? You know, there's a transmog button, but the transmog button's lower prio. Like why is an LFR? Why is a Mythic Raider coming into LFR? Why is their want for an item less valid than an LFR Raider? If they couldn't roll need on it, they just wouldn't do the LFR, right? They would just come back and get it when it's legacy content. So no matter what happens, you're going to be in an LFR raid with 24 other people who want something out of LFR, right? Otherwise they wouldn't be there. But it's I don't know, like there's a lot of ways that the current loot system make people feel bad. I actually think personal loot for everything except for Mythic made this better, because personal loot removed that element of you seeing the item and deciding what to roll need on it, and then seeing that another person decided to roll need on it, right? Instead, it would just put it in somebody's bags, and then you'd have the thing of like, oh, this person's not willing to trade it or whatever, but like, it's less. It would feel less icky to give away.
It feels less icky, even though I
right?
believe it's the same thing.
It is pretty much the same
yeah,
thing.
like if you're in a run, let's just use the trinket example, House of Cards, or if you went tank loot spec to get the tank trinket,
If needed,
and you
I will
rolled need
answer
on
the
it,
call.
I believe in personal loot that exact same thing happens. That other person ends up with the tank trinket, and
The game just does it for you.
yeah, the game just does it
yeah,
for you.
there's a couple of different things. First of all, with the current system, you have to be willing to click need. So if you're a good actor, you kind of get punished. You don't get as much gold because if you're somebody like me, I feel bad about rolling need on something that I don't need, so I don't roll need on it, even though I could maybe, my expected value is like, if I click this need button, maybe I'm getting 50,000 gold or something off of the chance that I win it and sell it, right? Like, so that's, I think, a downside. It does also have the weird thing, like you said, Max, of being loot eligible, right? Like, I can't roll need on this House of Cards that I don't need because I have one, whereas I could if I was just on a character that didn't have one. I actually kind of actively don't want to get this item on this character if I'm trying to just make gold from doing heroic runs and selling the items so that I can keep rolling need on it, right? Which is kind of funny, like, thing about it. I don't know, it is definitely icky.
Yeah, because like historically, loot culture, the way it worked is, all right, if you needed something, then you would roll need. If you just like wanted it for whatever reason, then you would put greed. And that's how it's always worked, right? For like, I don't even know how long it's been, but it's been like a long time where that's the culture of how you're supposed to do loot. But it's just like nowadays, there's no point in everyday values. It's you need whatever you can, and then you try to pawn it off, or you're using it for transmog, or whatever other purposes.
Well, how do they fix it? Because like,
I mean, that's
personal
more of
loot
like
isn't
a
solution.
culture thing rather than
Yeah, but like people.
It's like the players have to figure it out themselves.
Yeah, but
the
the
you can't-
incentive is-
that's like
yeah.
saying like Blizzard, like, oh, Blizzard should just like people should just know not to exploit. Well, it's like, well, if Blizzard just
Yeah.
doesn't punish certain exploits for many years, people are going to learn they can skirt the rules. So it's the same thing with looting. Like yeah, the right thing to do. There's going to be enough people that don't do that, and then other people are like, well, shit, if other people are doing it, I'm going to do it. You replay that 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, and then you end up at a point where people will go as far as the like literal restrictions allow you to go. So it does kind of have to be policed on their side or fixed. And I was thinking about it when you guys first started talking about. I don't think you can, because like the Mistweaver staff thing, the Mistweaver Agi staff thing, like that is something that someone could realistically do. I want to be this loot spec for this boss because I want things for this, like that makes sense. But it just feels bad. Like that.
Yeah, that happened in my freaking friend raid today. So we were doing a friend raid mythic. We killed the first boss. The tank trinket drops, and then the stupid Mistweaver Drogo in my raid set his loot spec to tank so that he can roll on the
Hey,
tank
Pachi,
trinket
what's
that
up, dude?
me and one other tank could have rolled on, and he won the trinket, of course.
Okay. That trinket isn't good for anybody, though, right? The Vexy
It's
tank
not,
trinket?
but like
So,
if it was good, it would have sucked. He was just rolling
Yeah,
for item level.
exactly. He's rolling for it for the same reason you are, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if it was good, he would have took it anyways, and it would have sucked.
I don't know. I think that if you're in a raid that's called a friend raid and somebody's doing that, you gotta
Yeah.
rename your raid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
agree with
got
that.
quote unquote friend raid.
Very
Oh, by the
friendly.
way, the boosting topic. Look at this shit, man. I posted a screenshot in Discord. This shit was from a while back.
Oh, I saw this. I saw there was a spreadsheet of alleged booster or boostees.
Yeah, look who's on top of the goddamn
You're right
list,
there,
so
buddy.
you
You're
fucking
right there.
Call me boosted. That's crazy.
Wait, he's saying that you are the one receiving the boost?
Yeah.
Oh, you were the one
Oh,
doing the
fuck.
boosting. You were a known booster, right?
No,
Like,
no. This was just a bunch of friends playing, and then I had the lower score discrepancy, so I was flagged as the boosted.
Oh, they ran some kind of script. I see.
Yeah.
And then
So-
you basically were doing the Dratnos Rat alt thing, except you wanted to actually play to Mythic Plus, so it looked like you just got boosted to a high score. That's so funny.
It's not even the Dratnos Rat alt thing. That's a phenomenon that mostly happens in plus 10 keys. It's like, oh, I'm pushing for the season and I just don't have a high key yet, and then my first miss to the season is a 17, right? And like that looks awfully boost shaped if you're looking at it, but it's it's normal if you're actually really good and just haven't played in a while.
Yeah, and here's a list of people who appeared the most on the list, and apparently I appeared 9 times as boosted. That's crazy.
Well, who are some of these other people? Are they known?
Presumably some of them are genuinely being boosted, yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
But yeah,
I just don't see that. I mean, I get it in Mythic Plus. Like Mythic Plus, I totally get. Like if you guys have ever grouped with someone that had a score and then you just saw some shit you could never unsee, and then you're like, how did they get into this thing? And then you start blaming boosting as like a potential thing. I think a lot of bottom rerollers don't actually get boosted as far as like what people generally mean with that term. They don't pay gold to get into the keys. It's just the reality is you'll just get accepted to keys because you're playing something that everyone wants. And then every now and then you will time keys. So just by sheer repetition, you are kind of getting boosted because you are bad, but like you will see people legitimately get the score they get, and that's why they're getting invited to those groups. Yeah, I don't know, man. I understand the Mythic Plus thing because you these people actively harm you and they're actually taking spots. Like if you just missed the cutoff and you're having a real bad day, you might be, and you have some scripting knowledge, you might be like, I wonder who paid to take my spot, you know, just, it makes sense.
Yeah, there's also a whole lot of negative connotation behind it because, you know, you've got these websites that are extremely TOS that involve boosting, and then you also have advertisers. They're extremely annoying. Like, you'll have people randomly whisper to you, I don't know, we're just like saying, oh, want to sell boost, yada yada yada. It's just like so.
Also, Blizzard is like, they did the whole like crackdown on boosting communities, but like they very much still exist and are out there, and like you just
all your classes want 30% haste. I wish I could have 30% haste, 30% mastery.
Yeah. They basically, because we reached out to them and we do a bunch of boosts within our guild. We have like
I don't know how to achieve that.
Hired to like be in charge of this, and we're like, well, what makes us any different than these other gold selling communities other than scale? Obviously, they're scaled like 10 million times higher, and they were like, well, it's like you're operating within a guild, and we're okay with that. It's like, okay, so that was fine for us because we're like, we need to be doing this, and we think what we're doing is legitimate, right? We're not selling it for money. We could not possibly risk that. We would just lose all of our jobs potentially and real money and stuff like that. So these like boosting orgs that do this are all doing it and making real money. That's why they want to remove them. But like, if you can operate under the guise of a guild, they'll just do that and then scale it as far as they can without getting in trouble. And as far as I know, that's what's happened. Like, I don't think any of them that have gotten removed were able to just like start it back up again. But it does seem like
okay. This gets me to 33% hasted moon conform.
If everyone remembers back in Legion, when we got
but
banned,
my
every
mastery
other top guild got banned because everyone was selling hella runs for money. Like, your weekly clears were, a few people were piloting someone's account. This was happening for years. Every guild you've heard the name of did this, and it was great, by the way, making insane money. And then we got into a lot of trouble for it. And then since then we haven't done it. And more specifically, they banned people for technically account sharing.
Are they calling my name? Is my name being called? Accounts. Let me get in on Discord.
So they knew it was related to money. Okay,
thank you for relaying the message to me.
I don't know anyone at Top Guild that has been banned for account sharing. Maybe we haven't done it, but also, who knows if we ever got banned for account sharing.
Achi said that I'm being conscripted.
We were selling things for money. We probably could have been account sharing this whole time. There's been a long history of that in the race world first. And it's like, you basically could have been doing it, and it only matters if it's actually something they're trying to penalize at that time. So I feel like these gold boosting orgs.
Oh no, they're in a metery right now, Pachi.
Maybe Blizzard was paying attention to it, and now they're not.
That was from a
so they feel like they can
ago.
just get away with it because there's not like the police aren't out right now. They're asleep for that specific topic, and that's I mean, that's a ticking time bomb, right? Like, that can at any moment they could just decide to care about it and they'll get nuked. But yeah, I bet they are existing in big force and they're probably making a lot of money. Yeah.
Dude, meanwhile, in the Chinese servers, the boosting is extremely rampant. It is. Dude, I gotta do that, you know? Like, maybe.
Have you guys seen some of the...
I'm just giving a hypothetical. It'd be sick if I just played in Chinese servers and just made crazy amounts of money.
Dude, Dorky, you guys are probably like 2 of the maybe 100 people in the world who would lose money by doing that.
Okay. I mean, doesn't it make a ton of money?
No, dude, Dorky, I'll go with you.
Big time streamer.
If we go to Chinese servers, I think we qualify for that Race World First bounty.
yeah.
That bounty's like $140,000.
That's a lot of money. That's great.
That's
No, but also, like, actually though, like on the Raider Out leaderboard, if you ever like look at these characters, there's like a non-only DK with like 673 item level or some shit. It is insane. Like these guys are.
Yeah, see that? That guy was casting Bestial Wrathwise up in the air.
Blasting high keys all day. It's actually ridiculous.
Okay, so let me tell you a little fucking story about. So number one, Blizzard themselves, unless something really serious happens, does not police those servers at all. When we got banned, I was just referring to this. Like we got banned for selling runs for money back in Legion. The Chinese guilds were streaming their Race World First runs to Commissar Garrus the year after that happened. And we had a mage in our guild.
Went out of the room.
He was Chinese and he understood Mandarin and he could translate for us. And what was happening on one of these streams with thousands and thousands of viewers
You're gonna have to dismiss your.
was they were asking chat if anyone could log on or does anyone have a geared rep paladin? We need another rep paladin for this fight. And someone said yes, and this dude logged on to this dude's rep paladin on stream. They didn't hide fucking anything. They showed the like, if you guys have ever piloted people's accounts before, you do a little trick with like their account name in the WTF folder, and like so all of your binds and stuff transfer. They did all of that main monitor in front of thousands of people and logged on this guy's account from chat and then killed Mythic Fallen Avatar. Like that is the level of what you can get away with in that region. It's completely it's the Wild West. It's completely unpoliced. So yeah, you are right, and I'm sure it's true in the Mythic Plus scene, but it is like it's complete madness. At least it used to be.
Have you guys seen the Warcraft logs, like screenshots where it's like one day, 8 mythic end boss kills, each one with 20 different characters, but like the same
log?
Yeah, and it's all in the same log. It's like
someone did this in EU a few years ago. Do you guys remember this? They got banned. Someone got banned. It was only as far away as like maybe 4 years ago at most. Some EU guild. Russian guild boosted 8 of the top Hall of Fame guilds.
Oh, I remember that. I remember the Hall of Fame boost. Yeah.
That's what it was, and basically the same thing was figured out because it was all.
Where's Alice Grillspark?
So you could
she was
see
here,
that it was
right?
all done
we
by
talked
the same
to her
people, and it was also just super obvious
everything.
anyway. Like these people had basically never pulled the boss, then instantly killed it. So yeah. It's a wild world out there, but you can't get away with that in any unfortunately. But if you were in China, you'd be chilling. Not even making that up. You would.
Yeah, we can make so much money right now. Not that we would, but you know, we could.
You know what? When I'm saying this, it sounds made up, but it's true. And the reason why I feel bad about saying it is because, like, anytime someone brings up China servers, they always actually make something up. Like, have you guys ever heard that Chinese guilds have better loot because, like, when you used to have bonus rolls in this game, but because of Chinese gambling laws, bonus rolls couldn't, like, fail. So you always got loot from it. That's completely made up, like made the fuck up. That was never true, but like people just say it, and then so me saying the like logging on stream sounds like I'm making it up, and I promise you I'm not making it up.
There's actually so much made up shit. I remember people said that about Outlaw Road.
I'm gonna stand still. I'm gonna stand still. Okay. That's how we'll do it from now on. You get mine first, then I'll worry about yours.
No, unironically, I'm like dead ass.
Do one more beat.
I've had a lot of chatters where are like, don't their Outlaw Rogues always roll 6 buff because of like some gambling laws? I'm not joking, by the way.
Dude, I know you're not joking.
There is a hot like Outlaw and MM are 2 specs that they prefer compared to the Western regions as well. That's like always been true. No meme.
I'm stuck, it's because of Chinese gambling laws.
Yeah, because of Chinese gambling laws, of course. They did recently do a big ban wave over there, though, but it is all done by like netties, not by Blizzard. So they banned almost 9,000 players who boosted
somehow apparently
or who like cheated.
Run the beans with boss, it just explodes. I tried to hit the last one.
That just happened to me, and I was stuck
It's kind of crazy. They gave the whole list of the players as well. Look at this.
Wait, they named their ass?
Yeah, they named all the people.
Wait, with title? With title and everything?
Can you drag him back a little bit?
It looks like they banned or they.
Oh no, the server name.
Yeah, they put the server and then they did some anonymization with, like that they anonymized some of the middle of the names. It looks like.
That's still
why.
Yeah, I don't know.
MS2?
But yeah, this is these are like all the follower modes, story mode, Winter Veil buffs, Lunar Festival buffs, all these different things. Mind control Legion mobs to apply their buffs to their team.
One beacon take
Dream
4 of
Surge
those out.
buffs.
So
think.
I
Yeah, those
kind
are
of
ones
doubt.
I
There's
lined
two
up.
things about this. So I kind of doubt NetEase policed this because of how much they let go on normally. I bet Blizzard saw this and was like, "You guys need to do something about this." That's my.
But the thing is, if they didn't do it
You guys
on
worry about
the
well,
West servers,
I guess in the future.
Yeah, like this is an area where I
treated
think.
their asses off here.
Oh wait.
I
So,
don't think-
people
I
did
don't
this
think
in
people-
West servers too.
I don't think
Yeah,
anybody
yeah.
who did this in the West has gotten punished yet. So I think
Why
this is
not?
an area where
Exactly. Yeah.
maybe
That's-
they're
that's
collecting the
ridiculous.
list.
Wait. Also,
Right
the
now.
other thing, we have banned 9,000 players who got this tempered hero. Is that the
Yes.
0.01% title?
Yeah. So that's another topic.
Does
too,
that
like,
mean
if
there's
You can lock
9
gate it,
million
I don't think it
players that are
matters.
done a Mythic
Can't
Plus
lock
key in
gate out.
China?
There are a lot.
Yeah, you can.
of
I've done
Chinese
that.
players.
Lock 8.
So there are, but also
last 2
there aren't
weeks.
that many in
Yep.
title range.
Really?
So they
Literally-
banned more
literally
people
yesterday.
than were in title range
I'll
for
have to
Bullet
this.
check.
square.
So I
I know
think what
Beckman's all
happened is
fucky now.
maybe they
Yeah.
banned all these players and any of them who had the title they
I'll
took the title
land
from.
eventually.
That's one explanation for what could have happened here. Or maybe they took away title
This.
and then they looked at who was now going to be in
Do
the title
this.
range, and then a bunch of them
Snow
exploited
protector.
too, and they did that a couple of times until they had, a clean title range. I'm not 100% sure.
I mean, it's still an
That's a
insane
big
amount of
number.
players there.
That's a big number.
Yeah, it is a big number. I mean, M plus is a big thing.
I mean, it's
everywhere,
possible that like it just
Can you
became so
try some-
rampant.
will these
over
guys
there
kill
that
you if they
basically
auto you,
anyone who
Kyle,
was doing
right away?
dungeons was doing this.
That's
which
what
is
we
kind
talked
of
about.
crazy.
That's
Okay.
what we talk about when we talked when
The whole
we
range
when
thing?
Yeah, I was gonna
Commenters
test the range
mentioned in our
thing if you
video,
could.
we,
You taunt
defended
one away.
exploiting,
Because one didn't heal one
to-
time when
to
we
our
were in
moral
here.
detriment.
So
there is
I've
that
seen it
balance
done
of, like,
if you kill everything at the
you know,
exact same
if
time.
one week a couple people do it and don't get in trouble, and then the next
Well, no,
week,
the
a couple
guy
more
just
people
didn't
do it
heal.
and don't get in trouble,
Yeah.
right?
Like he just stayed like
eventually
half
that becomes
HP.
everybody at the top of the
I don't know if
leaderboard.
it's
like
bottom
certain
or what.
distance.
Yeah, well, we didn't
Thing is,
know
with Blizzard,
why.
I mean, it's all.
We were just
I mean, I
theorizing.
would just put a lot of it.
Yeah, it was either like
Blizzard,
proximity or like
Like,
some
here's
weird
the- yeah.
stun effect
Okay,
or
you
something.
never
We
exploit.
couldn't
Just
figure it
wrong.
out
It's
when
morally
we
wrong,
got
you
it to
can't do
happen.
it. Okay, well, one that you can get away with is like the Cersei's Signet thing. You can still. I did that yesterday on stream for my monk because I'm like, I could get like 30 eye levels for free on my
Even
ring
when that
without
stuff
spending any
start
crest. Like,
on
why
this.
would I not do this?
Yeah, I
And-
didn't have a pet. Also, I need
and
cookies.
and that's kind of true. If they said
I
like they're
just
not
started.
gonna do anything for it, it's just like some. But
Yeah.
then you
Then
just
Bannock
add
went
in
all
the
the way
world of
in.
there are some exploits
Yeah.
you can do and some exploits you don't, and that's why people do them. If it was you couldn't do any of them ever, you just wouldn't do any of them ever because you would know there's a punishment. But yeah, big can of worms, which we talked
I
about.
got the one behind me.
Okay,
We could probably
I have
take
a
2 of the
mini
big
question.
ones.
Speaking of Cersei
Probably
Circlet,
okay to heal
you
it.
guys happy with how powerful that thing is still in the season? I don't know about you guys. Like, pretty much all of my guys still have that on.
I don't
Yeah.
feel like it's actually that.
Yeah, so I looked at the top 10 characters by item level, and 5 of them still had it on.
Holy
The other
Jesus.
5
What's
are
shaking,
wearing.
pal?
Usually it's a Jasper Diamond and a good stat ring.
Okay, second
Yeah,
dot
I'm
out.
reading that most people, once they get like
Yeah.
full
Oh,
mythic upgraded
bounty
rings, it's
pop
slightly
pulled out.
better. And I'm trying to compare it to like the Onyx Amulet from Dragonflight, and that was, so powerful that I believe healers wouldn't have taken it off until this expansion had it not been
Yeah.
nerfed.
Yeah.
And it was
Spirit Link.
like it was just ultra
Probably
biff
should've waited
basically
a
for a
second.
lot of
Trying
classes.
something, pal.
I don't know how many
Unfortunate.
classes where Cersei Circlet is best in slot with perfect
Nothing
gear
still.
in this season. Are you guys aware of any? I'm sure there
One.
must be.
I think there's a few, but for most it's like this does get replaced once you have 2 good, mythic
No, the
rings.
one's behind me.
Then
Yeah,
I
most of
feel
the
like
classes
it's
I played replaced.
I feel like it's fine.
Yeah.
I think.
I
It's
feel
fine.
like they slightly overshot on it, but I agree it's not like it's not as bad as what Amulet would have been if they hadn't nerfed that.
Oh, big
Yeah.
demon! I can't see, dude. Get
Yeah.
out of the way.
Just
To be fair, you
initial
don't have to
thoughts.
grind it.
I mean, honestly, I feel like with how hard jewelry it can be to get,
And,
I think it might
I
have
won't
been
do
like a
another
nice
big one,
mental
so we don't
boost
have
to a
to
lot of
redo it.
people early in the season,
gonna
knowing
get
they
one.
didn't have to like actually get that second ring for Mythic Plus. Maybe. I'm just kind of throwing something out there.
I feel that way.
Yeah, I'll do the big one.
Yeah, I kind of wish you did replace it with a hero track ring, which like you usually don't do. Oh, there are some classes that do, but it's usually like only if you get a Turbo Bis 2 ring setup that you would replace it before myth track. It depends. I don't know. Maybe it's also
Yeah,
I think
this
a bit
damage
better
is
for
a
tanks
joke.
than it is for DPS. So my experience might be colored by that.
Yo, I need to ask you guys something.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about that new Archon add-on? The
Oh,
overlay.
It's on the
Great
parse
one.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this puts people's parses
We can get
on
2. Good luck.
nameplates.
Just make
or
sure you
on,
guys don't get.
tooltip.
Yeah, we're gonna get
Yeah.
2.
So my
Well,
take was
next.
I don't think it even really
Have a good
matters.
one.
Okay,
I know
another
everyone's
big
been
one.
like up in
This
flames
one.
about this, saying how it's gonna be the worst shit ever and yada yada yada. But I feel like it's not that much different
Ah,
from
that's
the
my
Raid
bad.
Riot add-on. Plus, like, I don't think there are really many people who will even
My
use this.
bad.
People are like
Right at
way
the end,
more
God damn it.
boogeyman this than
Right.
what it will actually do.
Yeah,
Congrats.
to me, all of the so you're right. So something that a lot of people aren't aware of is
Oh,
that
I accidentally
in
hearthstoned
higher
out
level
of there.
keys or
I
like
did not mean
invites
to
to
do
the
that.
mythic pug, someone is likely to look
Whoops.
up your logs anyway. This if it's publicly
You got
available,
nothing anyways.
because
Oh,
you know
wait,
you don't want you want to like you value your time. You don't want to
Oh,
wipe,
85
and you can
year,
get a
10-year
slightly
range.
better idea of their skill level with some
Nice,
parses
huge.
rather than just their
I don't-
IO score, just
Need some
how
help?
far progressed they are in the
Oh,
raid,
I
which
don't
you
know.
see on the Raider AO
I want
add-on.
this.
Keep
But I don't
safe.
think
I'm on it.
99% of the public outcry against this add-on, I think, is coming from people that did not know that that process already existed or even really
Get it
did
done.
high-level content to where it would be relevant. It's more just, you know, one of the anxieties people have about WoW, which I think is totally
Which
valid,
side
by the
you
way,
on?
is
I
like
swear.
a lot of people want to just
Oh,
play
wow,
the
and
game
every time,
and
"Are
have
you
fun,
sure you
and they
wanna
don't want
continue ad
people
free?"
like
Yeah.
putting their
What?
performance under a microscope.
Stay
And
sharp.
this add-on
Watch
and
it
like
out.
the
So we need
picture
to
specifically
convince
that
you
went
after
with it,
9
with the
years of
tooltip,
asking you,
is
dude.
just the antithesis of what people want. They
Are you
hate
sure you
that.
don't want to turn off
And they
ad
don't want that in
blockers?
their game. And I think a lot of people who maybe even don't play the game were like, dude, this is part of why I quit, because like this parse culture shit, it went mainstream, went gaming mainstream on Twitter and shit. So like, I think it was that. So I think the fact that most people, your response and other people's response was that play the game were like, this is kind of just like convenient because people were looking up this information anyway.
anyone
And it's
need
actually
this
quite helpful for those situations. But I
Wow,
think
that's
most
a
of the
crazy
people who were against
transmog.
it were, you know, either didn't know that but don't
How
really
much
care,
faster?
but they're just like, this is what I
Bit
fucking
faster,
hate.
Yeah, no.
And I'm gonna let you know that I just
Uh,
fucking hate this. And there's an
nobody
opportunity
wants
for
it,
me
I'll
to do that.
take
And I
it,
think their
but-
opinion's pretty
I
incredible.
mean, you can have it.
Yeah,
I was
no, I think it's
just
completely valid. Like,
Master's
it
really
is
good for
something
Ellie,
to
but like
be
I really
Pick
don't
it.
like playing Ellie.
potentially worried about,
fine,
but it's
dude.
just like
Yeah.
I don't think.
I mean, I know you're
actually
afraid.
realize-
Core are really beating you.
Like,
LA.
it's kind of like the whole people who leave dungeons, right? Like, yeah, I'm sure if there are people who leave
Yeah, it's
dungeons,
never
but I
happening.
don't think it's like
I was
that common.
bursting
Yeah.
for
I'll make
18
the-
million,
a bit of the
19
counter-argument
million
to this,
earlier today.
that I think there are definitely a lot of people who
On your
have the
Ellie?
reaction that you guys are describing. I
There's
do
too
think
much
it's true,
power,
though,
don't
that,
know how
okay,
to
if
handle
you-
it.
If you think that it's kind of a bad
Are you
thing,
doing keys?
making it
No,
more
I did
convenient is
normal.
going to make it more doable for more people, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you think about if I had to, you know, if I had to go and
Are you
find
taking
somebody's
this in?
private logs, right? Like that's a step
give
that
it
I'm
to
only
Chris.
going to
He
get
can
their
have it.
login or whatever
No.
and look at their private
You
logs.
take it.
If they're trying to
Fine,
go
I'll
micro,
take
like,
it, dude.
That's a huge
You know,
amount
I'm
of work.
keeping it.
That's a lot of
There
a
you go.
lot. I'm not
I
going
was
to do
just
that.
gonna vendor
Now
it.
looking up somebody's public facing
Get out of
page,
here,
you know, tabbing out, popping
You can
open
get out of here. Give me
the
it.
browser.
Dude, he's
It's
using
kind
the
of annoying, but I'll do it
626
if I'm
ring.
running a mythic pug, maybe.
That's what I'm
If
saying.
I'm doing like a heroic
Wait,
pug, I don't know, man.
get outta
Like,
here.
I got 30 applicants.
Hey, leave me alone.
I'm really gonna
Give my
bother like looking at
626 ring
people's logs.
perfectly statted
Nah.
alone.
But if I can mouse over everybody and be like, ooh, there's an orange person, grab them, right? Like that is very much something that is now easier to do, and so more people might do it. And so then maybe now more people are going to play like absolute idiots to try and get higher parses in their heroic runs, right? If you ask somebody like, hey, can you go run this bomb into the container on Gallywix?
No.
They're just gonna be like, no, man. If I do that, I'm never gonna get invited to
Oh,
anything ever again.
oh, it's
right?
gonna
Like,
happen.
Which is
Uh,
bad. Which would be terrible
right.
if that was the case.
I'm
So I
getting
think
tired,
that there's
guys.
I think it's not unfounded. Like you can see the pathway by
Nope.
which this add-on coming out leads to the quality of the game
Please, I
getting
don't want to be
worse for her.
embarrassed.
I think especially like the heroic pugging range is where this might have some pretty contagious effects.
And I
on,
think
uh,
that
any
level
gens
of
will
blow
circle
is
that
probably
entire
where
diamond
100% of
Kyle.
the outcry is coming
Stupid
from.
nerd.
Yeah, because I agree. Like mythic pugs, if you're
keep
doing a
it
mythic pug and you're not
Oh,
looking at
priority.
log- actually,
I
I
need this.
often don't look at logs for
Oh, I
first
still
two
have a
mythic
flask on.
pugs
Oh
'cause
my god.
I CPA. I just
Yeah.
pick, and I'm usually
I think
only
I
pugging one or two
could
slots anyway, so I just be like, yep,
As much
welcome.
as I wanna-
Let's see how this person does. It's fine. Doesn't matter, right? But if it did matter, I would.
Yep.
And I agree that
Yep.
this just makes it more convenient in those cases, and that's just nice. Yeah. I can see it's definitely one of those things where like the ickiness feeling is a lot of the problem. And like
Yeah,
you
I
said,
just
Max,
feel
like there are people who just want to play, who just want to game and not feel like
Are we
if
doing
they
fire?
don't research beforehand and like lock the fuck in for their heroic
We have a
run,
workshop too.
they're gonna like
not fun.
grief their character for like, you know, you can grief your progression in some games,
Priority.
but it's weird in an MMO to like grief your progression because you've got some bad logs associated with your character now.
Yeah, I just
Like
feel
on
like
that
the
guy,
Pandora
no?
box has already been open. I mean, like I've always
can
been
heal me through
against
a fire?
parse culture, right? Like
You
I hate
try?
the idea of logs.
Worst
and
case
parsing,
scenario is
just like having details that shows everyone's
It's fine,
damage.
you just
But
do
it's already, it's
It's
already
not like
done,
we won't
right?
get
Like,
chances
game's
at
already done.
priorities
This
in
is,
the
like,
future
how
if
the
like it
game
doesn't
is,
go
and we just
super
have to
well.
accept that. That's gonna be
I think
how
it'd
it
be
is.
fine.
Like if Blizzard was to make a stance initially, like way back, that they were not gonna allow any
Let
of
me
this shit
get,
at all, then I would have been
gems.
fully for it. But I feel like it's already out there, so it's kind of like,
You
eh,
know,
just
I should do that too.
another
I
one of
keep
those
forgetting.
add-ons. It didn't seem like a big deal to me.
Probably like
Really cheap. Well,
in
the gems
MMOs
aren't cheap, but
forever.
the
Like I think
Sucks.
WoW is
Sucks.
just such an impactful
Yeah.
game, and this happened to WoW.
I don't think there's a
Absolutely.
spot for
Games
taking
are
that
like
actually.
Any new MMO will
You
probably
cannot-
always end up being that way as well. Like even if games
I mean,
try to
definition-
intentionally
Especially
Sure,
not
setting
when Kevin just
players
logs
Final
in.
Fantasy
Four-
does that,
49,
right?
that's not bad.
it does
Yeah.
and it doesn't.
Yeah, I
you
feel
know?
like I'm
It
just
does,
wasting my
it
time
does,
being
and then
online
people
as
are willing
well.
to literally break the TOS to see
Yeah.
it, and a lot of them do. So like that just shows you.
Or if you don't have a main
anything,
stat
right?
one, to get a main
Dude,
stat one.
this is a great topic. I feel like everyone had very different and reasonable points from their POV. It's just great.
What are the
podcasts
gems
right
called?
here. Just
I mean,
W
yeah.
everybody here.
W
There-
podcast.
There's other WoW podcasts
I
that
have
could
no
not come
idea.
anywhere close. to
Depends on what
this.
stat you're looking for.
Amen. And you know what? The commenters also let us know in the
Here,
comments
I'll
your
look it
opinions
up
on
for
this and all other.
What's the
takes
stat
this
that you're looking
episode.
for, Chris?
'Cause the
Oh,
the
main
Potty
stat? It's a
commenters are
diamond,
also
right?
Just the goats as
Is it
well.
the cubic blasphemia? 181
Sigma?
primary stat.
Last
Yeah,
might.
so
Well,
Max,
you want the
started
tanking
Blizzy,
one, right?
Blizzy, right? I saw you started. So you're playing the
Yeah.
game for the first time in a few years. How has
Oh, do I
That's
want the
not
primary
true.
stat plus
But
the
nope.
critical effect
Yep.
for unique algorithm?
What do you mean that? What do you mean that?
Well, the
that's
critical
simply not
effect
true.
one
Well,
is
actually, wait, when was
a
the
mix
last
of
time I
damage and
played?
healing. That probably
Played
would be
Havoc in
good
Mirror's
because
Edge.
Yeah, the last time I like played the game, like I was super
Because
into
it's
it,
that
was
and-
Havoc and Mirror
and
still
the
like
only
logging
other
on
one
every
is,
day, slamming dungeons. God, that was
speed.
so fun. I played a little bit of Frosty last.
I think there was one
The
from
guide
too.
is
Well,
the guide is
yeah, I don't know.
saying this one
This season, yeah, I'm having
specifically
a
saying
blast. I've
speed
only
is the
done
best one, but
one Mythic Plus dungeon, but it was the brand new one, the like Bloodgate one, and that dungeon was sick. It was super fun.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
love
Dorky, I was watching you do that dungeon today, and you described it as a W dungeon.
W dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah. Funny, because it seemed like from PTR testing, a lot of people were worried that it just like had that kind of mechanic vomit feel to it with like so much going on. But I think from our perspective, like it's just such a beautiful, wide open dungeon. It's so fun to go in there and you can just do anything you want. There's so much creativity.
Dude, I've been so into WoW recently.
Paladins
Yeah.
get their own.
I'm hearing that from a lot of people.
Man,
I
I-
specifically Mythic Plusers. This seems like it's hard to tell when you're in the moment because
Oh,
there's always
gems are not
so much
cheap.
negativity in
Yeah,
general.
gems are expensive.
But it seems like we're in one of the better Mythic Plus seasons that the game's
my
had. I
God.
think.
Dude,
What?
even the raid. So we're now on
Oh, 'cause I
Gallywix.
bought mats.
Playing a Boomkin and Gallywix. Trying to do the first Boomkin to clear it. And
Hell yeah.
yeah, so we've gone like pretty far into the fight. And my entire guild, like they've been like typing in chat, like because we have like our little in-party discussion while like the raid leaders like talk about shit or looking stuff up, right? And like people are actually saying how they've been having such a good time with this raid and saying how like a lot of the fights are just like super fun. And I've never really seen this before from my guild, and I feel exactly the same. Like this raid actually fucking owns. I know a lot of people like don't feel that strongly about a lot of these fights, especially Gallywix, but I fucking love Gallywix. I think it's an amazing fight. So,
Dude, people
so far,
got so
like, the
mad at
raid's been
me
Great.
recently, and I because of one comment I made, which I said there are some Mythic Raiders out there that this is in reaction to like saying that Gallywix and this raid are an abomination, and I said, you know, there are some Mythic Raiders that would rather them be closer to Gallywix and this raid's difficulty than Ansarek and Erebar Palace. And then a lot of commenters of this podcast, maybe it was on this podcast or someone else, they were like, Mythic Raiders do not want this. Like Mythic Raiders want like a super hard raid. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like it's
They're not even at Gallywix yet. There's no shot.
I mean, there's a
Like, how
lot
many
of
guilds
room
are there?
between Gallywix and Ansarek for a boss to land in difficulty, right?
Yeah,
Like,
correct. But I'm not even speaking about Gallywix specifically. I think this raid in general is,
Yeah.
if you were to compare this raid's difficulty to Erebar Palace's difficulty, not even for World First, for a cutting edge guild is significantly less, right?
And I think that's good. I think they landed a much better difficulty curve as well, right? Like, obviously it was a little scuffed week one, but that doesn't matter because the guilds aren't there. Only a couple of guilds in the world are fighting those things week one, right? And then they landed some big nerfs on Styx and
Yes, Jimmy.
Sprocket, and I think we've now got a nice, like,
Yeah.
two pretty puggable bosses, and then Rick's a step up, Styx is a step up, Sprocket's a step up. Like, it's all pretty good.
They nerf bosses really early, and then the last two bosses, which are usually the ones that don't get nerfed fast enough. The last boss is in no
Doesn't
need of
need it.
nerfs ever to a fault, and Muggsy is very nerfed by gear. And the previous boss, One Arm Bandit, is the one where it's kind of like maybe there's a little. It's just kind of crazy hard.
Did you guys see the leak of One Arm Bandit nerfs coming next week?
Oh yeah, that's
No.
There's so you know Zorthus, the tomato VTuber streamer who's like the GM of Honestly or something, the OCE guild.
Nope.
He's a tomato VTuber streamer that is the GM of Honestly.
Okay.
The
Yep,
OCE
I'm
guild.
caught up.
Yep. And he like brought a camera in and was streaming a WoW 30th anniversary event and there was like Morgan Day there signing stuff, and he was like talking to him about it, and Morgan Day said something about how they were nerfing it next week. So
Yeah, we were just having like yeah, it was funny because like they're just like in the middle of a party, and we're just kind of like shooting the shit, just like chatting. And we were just like casually talking about One Armed Bandit being pretty difficult of a boss, and Morgan Day just casually goes like, "Oh yeah, that boss is probably showing up next week."
yeah, we can watch the clip together because it's
I don't want to see this clip.
this thing is so funny.
Yeah.
Very nice to meet you. My guild wiped all night on One Armed Bandit last night. That boss needs a nerf, okay? There was also the rank 1 Oceanic guild and we wiped all night on One Armed Bandit. That boss needs a nerf, okay?
Is it on Mythic?
On Mythic, yeah.
I think next week it's getting nerfs. Or next reset it's getting nerfs.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly the kind of thing you'd hear at a WoW party with developers at it, where they'll speak more freely. But also, I feel like if someone were to just make up One Arm Bandit is getting nerfed next week, it'd be like, yep, that checks out. Like it's not that's not surprising. You know, so.
Yeah,
I think it's good.
Yeah, so I will comment on Gallywix. I don't think it's as easy as people make it out to be.
Yeah, but you have a better one.
Preach said it's easier than Richard Reverb. That is
matches the
fucking
shoulders.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
I will say like
No,
after doing this
that
fight,
one sucks. It's ugly.
like so we're pretty deep into the fight, right? Like we're like 90
I'm not
gold or something
spending
into
like
it.
300 gold.
We're not as good as like Pop Tart Corn Dog or like.
I was gonna say I didn't know that boss had 90 pulls in it.
You know you could be as good as like what we
I
took
don't wanna
100 on
spend
that
my
boss. You
hundreds
could
of
be
thousands.
faster than us.
It's a
would
pretty
make
hard
it
boss.
better.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, like, so the healing check is actually pretty big on that fight. I feel like I am in
I don't know how I ended
constant
up on this quest.
verge of death. So like, and it's super action packed. Like, there's just shit happening the entire
Want to
fight.
quest
The thing that makes it easy
1 mil?
is
Then you're
there's
not
a
ruining
lot
that
of
quest.
steps to learn. 'Cause, like, once you figure out the first mechanic, you kind of understand the entire P1, and once you figure out the first mechanic of P2, then you kind of understand how P2 works. So it just feels like the fight
this is
doesn't
an
go
11.
on for
Should
very
I go
long,
back
but,
and
it
down
is
south?
good.
How low have you gotten?
To
Yeah,
like
I forget.
20%. Another.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've gotten in the last phase.
Yeah, we've gotten to like 8 minutes into the fight.
I think that you got most of the way
Let me
there for
stack
what
them
was
up at the
wrong with the
beginning.
fight. Everything you said was right. It's just that you said
You
you,
just
well,
say
you
go.
learned
Yeah,
P2 and
probably.
it's just all the
Probably
same.
should have.
Well, when you learn P2, you also learn P3. I think that's the single biggest thing, is that when you get to P3, none of the mechanics are amplified or bigger or harder than they were. It's just like, oh, you have less space now, but you have more than enough space to deal with anything, and there's like 10 seconds between every mechanic. You know?
I guess let's go.
But it's a fun fight the entire way through, and it's just like there's action happening the entire time. So I don't find that to be a problem. It's just you're not having to spend another 50 to 100 pull learning another section of the fight. That's
think-
kind of how I see it.
I think P1 is fine, but I do think P2 is like
Nature
you
walk,
can
dude.
watch some ranged POVs of P2 where they literally stand in the same location for like 2 minutes
Watch that
with their
back over
camera
there.
aimed
I don't
forward,
think that's
doing their
true.
rotation.
I mean, I'm playing range right now, and
No, so
there's a bit of a dance going on.
he's specifically referring to fire mages who have the bomb and don't have the
You don't soak, yeah.
you don't have the ability to soak, so you do actually stand in the middle, and unless suppression
Make
fire
it walk
spawns
again.
on you, you literally never move for any reason. That is true. But also that is
My
a
DBM
strat
isn't
decision,
working.
right? Like you could have that not be the case.
Usually it just
Everyone's
tells me-
using our strat, I'm pretty sure, and the reason that is why would you have the people who can wipe you if they die do anything? And the answer is you probably wouldn't. But right.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I think once more people see this fight, I have a feeling this will be a pretty well received fight. It's
Yeah,
definitely
I don't
gonna
know.
be more
I feel like
challenging than I think it'll be for a lot of players.
I feel like right now, if you can get past pre-nerf Muggsy, pre-nerf One Arm Bandit, like you are going to find Gallywix to be an easier encounter to progress than either of those, and that's the kind of thing where, like, depending on your motivations for raiding, that can be either a positive or a negative, right? Like,
Bro, I don't know about easier for One Armed Bandit, maybe. Maybe our guild just sucks,
Okay.
but I swear it's harder than One Armed Bandit. Well, I guess you guys got shit on, to be
Okay,
I don't know, yeah, maybe we just sucked on One Arm Bandit, but like for me,
Yeah.
it's way harder than.
Okay,
way
I have a
easier.
question for you two. what if you guys had to guess what guild rank? What guild rank does it stop where you want the last boss to blow your brains out in difficulty?
What do you mean?
Like, I think you're so like the whole conversation of like you know, if you were to make the argument of like people would want a boss to be easier than Ansarek, maybe closer.
Standing
to
close,
Galliwex
Steven, they'll
than
jump closer to us.
than Ansarek. See you around. The people who are saying no, that's not true. I want it extremely fucking hard. I'm saying like what guild rank wants to wipe on the last boss 300 times? Like when does it stop? Like I can tell you.
To do with guild rank.
Well, I think it does, right? Because like you would assume the guilds that are at the higher guild rank are the guilds who raid more, care more about raiding, and usually are better at it. So you want a harder challenge to, you know, entertain yourselves. You're doing this for a reason, you're doing it for fun, right? So like like I can tell you for us, like I think a perfectly tuned end boss is like, it's not bugged or needing to be nerfed, and it's somewhere around like 200 to maybe 350 of like, just depends on how difficult the boss is, but if it's like consistent progression, that's like that feeling at the end of that is something you can't get from another game. Where like when a boss is 100, that's not true. So what I'm saying is
it's actually
what guild
the
rank, like,
one
is
strat
maybe
where you grab everything and it comes back in this
maybe
corner.
like what rank guild? How many people are you serving by making a boss that requires 400?
I think he got up on the ledge.
Yeah, it's got to be
so
vanishing
hard.
small.
It's just so hard to compare because I feel like it's not about the pull count number. I think it's more about just. Yeah, I don't know. It's just...
I think the pull count matters. You know, like let's just say Galliwex is the exact same boss. I think what actually, you know, I will say I noticed this about you. Most bosses you like or dislike over the past few years of talking to you about raiding is pretty much anytime a boss gets past, like, it's like, is it 150? Or maybe if it's 100, you start going from like, this boss is pretty fun to like, I fucking hate this. Like, I don't. Growl's the same way too. Because he's like very vocal about it. That's why I remember both of you.
Well, so for me, it's a little bit different. Like me personally, the way I see it is, if I'm just repeating the same shit, then I'm just bored and I just want to get out of here. Because like, you know, like I feel like I've already, usually around like 90 pulls in, I feel like there's no boss fight where I don't feel like I've already learned the entire fight. Like even like Ansarek, right? Like once I get to 90 pulls, I'm like, all right, well, like at this point we should just kill the boss, right? Because like, what else is there to see? I don't want to see the same shit over.
You want to learn the boss, you just don't want to optimize.
Yeah, like
actually,
if there's like a boss. Well, no, I mean I'm already
optimized. Stop messing up.
Yeah, because like I've already gotten to that point where I'm hitting the same globals for 100 pulls straight. I don't want to just do another 100 pulls of doing
holy
the exact
crap.
same shit. Like,
Hachi, I just realized.
Yeah, also, you like optimizing
with
because,
enough
like,
haste, my dots actually do
right?
stupid
like
amounts of damage.
Like,
but you don't raid in a guild that does that, right? Like you're you're missing out on that part of it.
Well, who actually gets to do it? What guild truly gets to like get to a boss fully figured out and then be like, hey, we have to generate 10% of the boss's HP. There's like probably one or two, right? That's not something a lot of people actually have to deal with because most people get to a fight with like, oh, this is exactly what you have to do to kill it, or even less, depending on how much gear you have. But like, I think in Dorky's situation is when you're not at that level of guild, you're not doing the race roll first, you're not, you know, doing this with, this is your main thing in your life that you're doing outside of work, maybe.
Spread, dude.
You're pulling the boss for 200 times. If you're one of the better players, you're not actually like feeling like you're getting better every pull. It feels like you've capped out on getting better and you're waiting for
is she stuck?
And that feeling is terrible.
Yeah, she's not coming.
Is that correct? Or somewhere?
Yeah, like right now on what you call it, Galliwex. Like I've already figured out all my timings. Like, I already know positioning the dance and everything. So it's like we're just waiting for the boss to die at this point, right? Because like, you know, I'm playing Moonkin too, so it's like I had to figure all that stuff out myself. I'm not just like blindly opening up some Moonkin VOD, just looking at very exact positioning and CD timings and all that. Like I kind of just like did all that off stream and.
That must have been fun though. That's probably part of the reason why Galli's been pretty fun for you is like figuring out how to do Moonkin on a fight people don't do Moonkin on.
Yeah, like there's definitely a lot of blind progression for me on that fight. It was a lot of fun for sure, but I'm at that point now where it's like, all right, you know, we've seen the whole fight, and I've gotten to the point where I'm ready to kill it. So I think that's just the point where it stops being fun. And like it doesn't help if it's a 10 pull boss too. It's like if I'm doing a boss for like 10-20 pulls and there's nothing to really figure out or optimize, and that's also extremely boring.
Yeah, it's like, it's the importance of raiding with a guild with good skill parity.
You can do it.
Because if you are way better than the average of your guild, you will always feel like long bosses are dreadful. And if you are on the lower end of that,
the guy hit me from behind. Like, what the hell?
Back. Like for example, if you could do any hard boss, then technically from what you're saying, you can do a boss that takes your guild 300 pulls.
Come on, Sergeant
but if you
Shane.
are, everyone there is the exact same skill level, you should enjoy all 300 of those pulls because all of those pulls are you learning and getting better. You're not waiting for someone else to do it, I guess. Even though
well, the way I
is still a
also
long time.
yeah, the way I also see it is like if you're not a Race the World First guild, you can kind of just like pull up a VOD and just copy everything and like the homework is already done for you, right? Like that's why I feel like 300 plus pulls doesn't really make sense. Like maybe it's just a B thing, but can't you literally just like watch a VOD and just like see how it works, and by the time you get to 100 pulls, you can pretty much just do what the VOD does, except you're like way more geared and all that.
So why didn't you do that on Instarac?
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. You know, like we shouldn't require that in goals, but it's just
right. But like, where are those pulls coming from? If that process provably doesn't work, right? Like, or doesn't. It's not that simple.
Well, I mean, I figured it's just because like people don't really bother watching what they should do. I don't know, because like when I got to the point where we were like P3, is like people are completely clueless on like what they're supposed to be doing, but.
In Galley?
I feel like
pre-nerf web blades were just insanely hard.
I mean, that was
like actually... most guilds like 150 plus pulls just to like not die to that consistently.
Well, so that's the difference. Yeah, I'm not saying like if I think I said this last podcast, but like if people just die to mistakes, then it's like it's not a big deal. But like if people literally have no idea what they're doing, then that really sucks. It's like okay, you know, we get to a certain part of the fight and people still understand that,
drinking.
Like, oh, you're not supposed to be like standing here, or you're supposed to be like doing this. Even though like we already went over it in the VOD.
Dude, I'm having such a revelation right now. I might be like totally missing it here, so I might need some help from you to figure this out. But my biggest, sorry, you might hear some dogs squeaking in the background. Ella, come here, girl.
We know when.
Sorry, that's just gonna really bother me. I'll get right back to her after this. But I'm having a fucking Jimmy Neutron brain blast right now. Okay, so you guys. Okay, in the race, the thing that makes me really upset is usually, okay, so anytime we're doing a boss, we're figuring the boss out and the execution requirement of the boss line up, everyone's happy. Vibes are awesome, I'm feeling great. Ready to kill the boss now, guys, fully figured out. Cool, and then we kill it. The bosses that drive me crazy are when I trick myself into thinking that we have it fully figured out, or for whatever reason, the strategy requirement of the boss is much easier than the execution, and I'm sitting here just waiting for them to fucking kill it. And that is dreadful, and I get super ornery and pissy, and I'm just like, why are we fucking doing this? I'm literally bored. I'm like, my brain requires stimulation, and I'm actually bored, and I want to move on.
The damage. Yeah.
And I wonder, you mentioning this thing about the video, I wonder how much of this is true with video guilds, which is every other guild in the world, right?
Oh, I should get the shield out.
How that can be frustrating, because technically you have, like, the thing in front of you, like, this is how you do it. It is solved. The only thing that is there is execution. And for some people thinking, like basically you start progression with the feeling that I end progression with sometimes in some fights. And maybe that's why raid can feel so frustrating, is because like when you're not actually figuring it out as a group, it is purely just down to execution. You're kind of just waiting for it to happen. And that's kind of not as fun nearly as any kind of thing figuring it out. And maybe that's where that frustration comes from.
I can't kick that.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, like for example, it's like how do
pick.
people just not know where to go with the blaze lines by pull 100, right? Like
Get next.
it should just be known that like, oh, here are the rules. You know, you're supposed to do this, if this and that, or like what your soak spots are, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I see it.
And you should the expectation is you go in knowing all that stuff. I think some guilds do that, right? Aren't some guilds like, hey everybody, before showing up to raid, watch this video and like know exactly what you need to do. But that just means so many different things to so many different people. You know, some of them are relying on like some reminder call-outs and some add-on packages to do it. A lot of that legwork for them. They're wanting good raid leading to do that for them. Like honestly, good raid leading at a lower guild level where you're not like doing like literally figuring out the fights on race roll
Rip
first.
Snoodle, that was terrible.
And
a fireball, at least like a proper mage, like a
standard for showing out the raid prepared, and that can just fill in a lot of those gaps.
What's shaking, pal?
Yeah.
Want to hear him?
Yeah, I mean,
actually stay here for the next boss.
On Mugsy,
I say use it.
We only played one Dev Evoker, and our second Dev Evoker did like 21st thing on Mugsy, and it was so good. It was like, okay, here comes the frontal, this one goes to purple. Okay, here comes the tank line, this one goes down the middle, right? And like, you hear that, and then you just never wiped. Like, somebody gets a mechanic and panics and doesn't know where to go, right? And it's definitely something where it's like, but not a lot of guilds have access to that, or like you can't make 20 people watch a video and like know exactly what they're supposed to do, right? You have to just pull the boss some amount of times before that happens. So
yeah,
it's definitely one of the things where like, yeah, it depends on your guild, right? And I think that with all things, the biggest thing is just it feels bad when everybody's not on the same page, right? Like if you have some fast learners, some slow learners, if you have some video watchers and write out an extensive reminder for yourself, and some people that are just like, yeah, let's pull the boss and see what it does, right? Like that is gonna cause tension, and a fight like Gallywix will inherently cause less tension between those different groups because there's not a huge difference, right? If you just tell somebody like, yeah, you're soaking the left cones, that's all the information they need for Gallywix P2, right? And P3. I'm soaking the left cones. Okay, poggers, right? Like that's what I do. And then the rest of it are just mechanics that you game out, right? And you compare that to Answerek, and it's like, okay, you need to pick up this essence from this location at this specific time, and then go through this gateway and move to this specific location to drop your essence, right? While dodging web blades before and after and during, right? Like that is apocalypse level difficulty thing that Gallywix just does not have. And so it's kind of a great equalizer among guilds with different levels of preparation and stuff.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm also not saying like every guild is expected to do this. I'm just saying like in my circumstances, this is how our guild runs. We literally have our raid time spent on watching Race of the World First VODs, or just like sometimes like Drandal's VODs too, just like to see how like other guilds are doing it.
Yeah, we do PC theater.
I don't know what to do, Baji.
Right? We'll watch the VOD.
I don't know what to feel.
And then we'll do like phase by phase as we're reaching a new phase. We'll be like, okay, we're about to reach P2. Let's watch P2 again.
Right, yeah. So in, like, in
the first set of Divine Tolls, I need you guys to
obviously, there are probably a
pop
lot of guilds out there that don't do this at all, and they kind of just go in blind, or like maybe they like will say like, oh, you guys should probably look up stuff. So that's like completely different.
Yeah, you get a lot of the raid leaders kind of shaming everybody for making a mistake and being like, you guys should have looked this up, you guys should have looked this up, right? But like, it's like an inhuman expectation that they're placing on people.
Yeah, most people just need to do the fight and mess it up to learn it.
Yeah, so on the M+ side of things, I don't know if you guys have saw, but apparently this season so far has the highest retention we've seen since Shadowlands or some shit. There was like some post I saw about it. Yeah, I mean, this season absolutely owns.
There is a confounding factor here, which is the like week 4 is the best week 4 ever, but it was also Mythic Dungeon week, where if you do 4 keys, you get a hero track item.
For every season? I thought it was just like
no, it lands on different weeks. Yeah. So but I think the trend would hold true regardless. Like I think this season, to me, the biggest thing this season is
I'm pulling in here.
There are just good rewards along every step of the way for M+. I think the really cool thing is there's a reward for getting like 3K score, which is a higher step than there's ever been before, and that means that there's something to do past getting, Keystone Master, right, which is fairly low, right? There's a 2K reward, a 2.5K reward, a 3K reward, and so people are just like, you have incentive to push all the way up to 13s for an achievement before then that long chasm before title, and I think that's led to a lot of people kind of being like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go for this, right?
That was kind of a suggestion in the past, right? We felt like there wasn't a bridge. There wasn't a bridge to getting to that higher level, and they've just added more little breadcrumbs for you to do, and people are actually doing it. And one thing before the tiers, you guys said that I think Dorky said on the PTR, it just seemed like they wanted these dungeons to be way easier. The requirement. You remember, we talked about this very briefly in the podcast, the tier list podcast, but like the civilian dude talked to my backyard, which, by the way, ton of comments on the last video that did not listen to our literal description of civilian at all before commenting about what they were like. Dude, he doesn't understand civilians are not 3KIO, and we literally described exactly why they are, and never mind. Okay, but
civilians are not casuals.
Yeah, exactly. And some are low IO and some are high IO, right? You can, the IO is not.
Yeah, and also we're all making it up, right?
Exactly.
So we're literally telling you what we mean by that, but it's just like civilian and casual. I think civilian. Some people hear the word civilian and just instantly get defensive and mad too. I think that's part of it. Like I think somebody just heard that and then just went right to the comment section, which I gotta respect that, just being mad all the time. But yeah. So one thing he mentioned was like, yeah, last season I was doing it, but man, I just couldn't, like the amount of stuff. And I could tell this was not like his brain being warped by just constant the narrative online and in comment sections and on Twitter about like how dungeons are too hard. He's just like a full natty fucking gamer. He doesn't listen to any of this stuff, which exactly, listen to our description of civilian is literally the description of that. and he was just saying like, dude, there's just so much going on. Like, I just feel like they're losing me with Mythic Plus now because it's just like you're losing kind of what makes it really fun and repeatable, and they're trying to make it crazy hard. And I'm 100% positive that came from no one else. He's not repeating his favorite streamer's thoughts. That's pure natty, right? And
That's just his feelings.
Yeah. Did that? Do you guys?
All right,
feel
how
like
do you want to do this popping?
I mean, it definitely feels like Blizzard's
Um,
going in the right direction.
I
Like,
can
let's take a
bubble
list
one
of
entire
what
set.
they've done. So
So,
they made
I'll
10s
bubble the
easier
set
to do,
before, I
which
think.
is like, you know, the cap reward. So a lot of people have been super happy about that.
Yeah, and we'll do one at a time.
That's a huge W. They reduced the amount of group damage.
Kind of how like
It's
we do the
actually
dot
insane.
and
It's like
Rookery.
night and day.
Okay.
Sometimes I'd be
I'll
doing
start
these
left
bosses,
here and then
like
go
say I'm
right.
doing the last boss workshop, right? Like the
Okay, I'm good.
King
Whenever you
Mechagon
are.
that just does his suck. And I remember back in BFA or Shadowlands Season 4, where it would just like obliterate your team, but like now it's just kind of doing no damage. And it feels wrong in one way because it's like
Actually,
I'm
more
so
like
conditioned
blocking
to every single
Sprocket or
mechanic
whatever the
just
hell
like
that
completely shitting on your
what Ray
team.
boss's name is.
But there's none of
Yeah,
that.
the bombs.
There's like
Yeah.
way less one shots. We don't even have to pull up the calculator.
Oh,
The
that's
website, not even
fucking
close.
my bad, dude.
.com or whatever. It's like a website that was made back in Dragonflight because
It's
people would need to
going-
calculate
Yeah, I'll
what
go
exactly they
I'll
needed
wait.
to live each and every
Spin out.
mechanic. And we're out here doing 17s, 18s, and
Someone
not
else?
requiring the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
shot
I'm bubbling. I got it.
which
I got it.
That's great.
fucking owns.
That's
yeah.
such a difference, by the way. That's
Mhm.
insane.
Okay, let me get it.
Yeah, and then we've been preaching that forever now too. They reduced the amount of like mandatory kicks required too. Like there's just so much less spam
Ready to move?
casters.
Move.
Class variety feels really good right now. You can play so many different specs and still be able
Popping.
to
I'll do it first.
perform well instead of just being stuck to the meta comp.
Part of
So-
that is a
Thanks for that
defensive
record.
thing for
Good
sure.
luck
too.
to you.
Like I remember looking at like some of the meta for previous
get the next one?
seasons,
I'm
and
dead
it was
shit. I'm not-
basically who can
Go ahead, can you get the
reliably
next one,
live a cast that's doing 100% of your HP
One more.
every 30
Two more.
seconds.
I sacked
Literally
that.
the list of
Somebody go get
classes
one.
is, like less than 10 or specs
Alright,
out of
okay.
40. You know, almost
Yeah,
40.
and also you needed to fit in Mark of the Wild and Fort and stuff so that you wouldn't
Yeah,
fucking die.
so, it's even,
Alright.
so it's like your comp was just
Stack
laid
up.
the fuck out. But if you're not actually dying to every mechanic, I know you're in the middle of a rant. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think that
No, yeah.
that alone has made
Pops. Get the first one right now.
What's your shields? What the shield?
Yeah,
Don't
they've
try
just
to-
like done so much in the right direction for M+,
Yeah,
and I'm just like so happy to see. Also, like
Charge
the
killed
plus
me.
12 jump too. Last season that was such a problem, and now
Yeah.
people are able to just
Do you have any
enter high
more
keys
battle
comfortably. I
roses?
feel like there's
One
so many people
second.
doing high keys this season. It's actually ridiculous. I've been hugging keys, and there are just like so many people who are
cooldowns
hugging
here.
like 15s and 16s.
Be
which
behind
would've
him,
been
and then
unheard
you
of in the
guys like
past.
we get the
Yeah, I
front
see you
here,
doing
and
those
then you guys
double
get
keys
the
with your
back.
main team as well. It's nice to see
yeah.
that nice.
So ideally,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
ranger,
It's
square,
it's
and then melee
relatable.
with me.
Exactly.
No, but like
That
some
we
people
all
are-
don't-
you can actually plug these higher keys because the coordination requirement is nowhere near as
shit.
insane.
God, I hate that shit,
Also,
dude.
there was like
Yeah.
an interesting post I saw this morning
No.
on our trusty
I got slowed.
WoW Reddit. I mean,
Alright,
just a
guys.
This is completely breaking
I,
MPLS
I call one.
defensive
Give it
balance,
a
and it's so
second
much
before
fun
you
to
just
play.
pop the next
Bro,
one.
I've been
dude. Like,
saying this about healers forever now. Like, I swear to God, if you just make
we have a lot of
healing
time
fun,
to do it.
it's fun for everyone, right? Like, so I don't know
Okay.
if you guys have
Who
kept up
who
with
got the second?
this priest, but
Steven
that's
got
kind
the
of
one right
the
after
wave.
me.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because
No, no, hold on.
Rivens has been
Should've-
playing this build. He's been preaching it forever, and everyone else was playing Void Weaver. We all called him a fucking idiot for it because.
So
he
ideally,
doesn't
like
do
if
damage
we're
when
on
it
square
was
range or
playing
on
Void
circle,
Weaver,
so
but it turns
that
out
way
it's
when he
actually
does the
OP
ground
on
thing,
one
it
circle.
doesn't hit. both
Power
groups.
shield's literally bigger than
If
life
we're
could
all
do on this
close
wall.
to each other,
Yeah.
all
We
the
literally
groups,
just
and then
give
we all have to
people
move
an
as
entire
well.
HP bar of
And
absorb shield.
it's a pain.
And
on
it's
the
so
healer.
sick to have. Everyone's having fun, right? Like the DPS is having fun because they're not worried about dying every second.
Yeah.
The healer feels like they have a ton of agency. It just feels great.
There's some people who are not having fun, and that is
Yeah, of course, the
people who main other healers in the group finder not getting invited,
Yeah.
right? That's always the issue. Is something that's super OP in one role.
But
Yeah,
I've
but,
always
like,
like said that,
Feeling
if
like
you're
your
like-
guy is OP is a great thing that WoW
Right.
has been missing for.
Gotcha,
Like
dude.
Dragonflight, I think really didn't feature
Exactly.
That's what BFA season 4 did. It made
Yeah.
everyone feel OP.
Right here. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
15 seconds.
Not yet.
But it's just good
Oh,
to
yeah.
see that there's like some
Okay, we're moving.
really positive receptions to this season.
Well, we're
It's the
getting that
most like
soon, right?
Legion M+ that we've had since Legion, right? Like, I don't know. It reminds me of that.
We'll pop it now.
Just surrender.
We're getting
Be the
BFA
first.
season 4 corruption powers
Dude,
soon,
it's
right?
such
Has anyone
shit
tested
fucking
that?
timing on this.
It's on, yeah. So it's on PTR now. It's
Okay.
like you can enchant
Oh,
your
wait, I'm
helmet.
But no,
with,
fine, fine, fine.
And it goes
This
away at the
one,
end of the
the early
season,
ones
just
are
for,
okay.
Stack
it'll
on
be
this
just
side,
for
and
the
then we're gonna
season
move to
on
the
the
other
patch.
side.
And there's just like a few of the corruptions, but it's not the same as corruption, but it's
I don't think
there's like
Got you
Echoing
if I should
Void,
try to
Twilight
find a
Death,
priority
Maybe
10 or
Void
another
Ritual. I don't think
location.
there's the stack corruptions,
Purge would be
and
huge.
it's only
You take his
one
wings away.
slot. So
Okay.
it's not going to be the same. as
Remember,
corruption.
range would be at circle,
That-
but we're not all.
That I like the cook because we've been saying we wanted like a little bar
Way
of
out there.
power that's like not
Yeah.
defining the patch, it's not defining the expansion. But I
Universe.
wonder if we'll ever see the
There's
flip
no
side of
mother
that, where
load
maybe this
keys.
stuff is fucking
There's
awesome,
5.
and
Forgot
we're
the second
like,
one.
man,
Okay,
how
so I'm
come
gonna
for
go next.
only like 20 or 30 or 40% of this patch do we have the really, really awesome stuff instead of just all the time? And then it's like the going full circle thing where it's like,
Back
wait,
on-
more
we're
bar
split, we're
power
split, we're
expansions
split.
again, you know?
Okay, good.
Hachi, I want to quit my job and just
Yeah,
stay at
I'm
home and
curious to
draw.
see how
Choice.
this whole corruption thing turns out. I feel like it'll be kind of a nothing burger and just like
Time
maybe
to
it'll
get
be
more haste,
cool,
dude.
fun.
I think it'll be
I'm
I'm putting on my
pretty
haste trinkets from
closer
last
to
season.
nothing than to BFA corruptions for sure.
Yeah, I'm about one get all day.
1.14 global
Okay,
cooldown.
Speaking of M plus again as well, I know that this causes people to
I need to
immediately
find
close the video.
haste mastery.
So that's why we're putting it at the end
gloves,
here. But there is some brief MDI discussion that we should do.
Let's see where I can get haste mastery.
Yeah,
gloves.
goodbye, viewer. We'll see you next week. But okay, so there's a class stacking or not stacking rule. There's been a class stacking rule in MDI for ages, but this time around MDI, which is like it's all
Thanks
going
for
to
that.
be
He's about to do the
TGP style,
green
but
thing.
All slots.
called MDI.
Five
So
again.
basically, this season around TGP, there's a new rule
Center.
where they're doing it like last season, where you do
Anyone?
like there's 2 day
Yeah.
ones and then a day 2 with the good teams from those day
Okay,
ones.
Don't wait.
But-
Wait.
In
Yeah,
that
right.
day
I'm
2,
trying to
Yeah,
do this.
the
the
cliff.
Three
3
more.
specs that were played the most
go
by
by
the
the cliff.
team, by each
can't
team
get
I
another
can,
one.
I can, I can,
You
I
can
can, I can take one.
can't be used
That's
for
fine.
that team in the day 2.
I'm gonna die.
So like,
Yep.
if we play the meta comp for all of day
Getting well
1,
up.
we can't use 3 of those specs, which it would be the
Over
tank and the
here.
healer, and then a DPS the team's pick is the tiebreaker for if you
Stay
have
spread
the
out,
same
stay
number
spread
of
out.
uses, I guess. But what do you guys think about this? This seems like such an interesting, kind of weird way to do
Okay.
class
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna get
Fuck,
restrictions
don't even.
in MDI.
I'll get him. I'll get him. You guys just.
So apparently it's based off of the League of Legends. What's it called? Like Fearless Draft? Or
It
something?
reminds me a bit of Fearless Draft, yeah, which League has been doing. I don't know if you guys watch League. I watch a little bit of League.
That dot is nasty.
I like watching like from time
Well,
to time.
one
I'll
has
tune in for,
wings.
and they
We
have a
need
system right
something to
now where
purge
like
him.
in all the BO3s
Next time,
and
dude.
BO5s, I think worldwide for all the
made it.
esports
Does
this
it, huh?
year, if you
Shaman
use a
Hunter.
champion, you can't use it for the rest of that BO3 or BO5.
Okay, good.
So yeah, it's sort of it seems
Human
definitely
Hunters have a
similar
purge
to
too, don't
that.
they?
They have,
No idea.
except there's like 150
Yeah, just like
champions.
suck off magical
Right,
powers.
But okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so like the clear things are like, okay, on day 1, do you run the meta
Oh, no,
comp so you
it's done.
qualify
That's my bad.
for the last day, and then you're in the
That
worst
one.
spot for the finals? If you're a team that tries to save the
That's
best comp for the finals, do you
Oh,
try
this
to
dungeon
qualify
sucks.
with that? Then maybe the first time you
Guys.
watch this tournament, you'll kind of see what teams are going to do, and there's probably going to be some drama or like at least interest, viewer narrative and interest around that. The thing that I find weird about it is like I feel like most people are gonna just want to qualify unless there's a lot of very good things that are pretty close to each other, and then you're just gonna end up seeing worse keys on the last day because
Realistically, this key is.
you're seeing
Good
people unable to play the best things. I mean, we all know why this.
Yeah, now the big guy in the middle.
The casual MDI viewer that shows up for 2 minutes and is like, oh, ZZZZZ, same comp every dungeon, everyone's running the same team, and then they leave, and then everyone just keeps doing that. Like, that's why this exists, right? For
Well,
sure.
there's more of a reason than ever before because there's no affixes anymore. Like at TGP level keys, there's literally nothing else that can differentiate a run from another run, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
so I could see why now would be the time to do it, especially.
I think it'd be fun to watch the first one for sure.
Yeah.
And then if it's not great, maybe they'll iterate on it. I mean,
I feel like
I've always thought
25% is
something like
probably
this
my
was
sweet
cool.
spot
I
as
tried
far
to do
as
like
haze. I
community
feel like
TGP. I didn't end
30%
up following
is-
through with it, but like the idea.
It's good for my global
well, like, I'm not
cooldown,
gonna,
but
like,
it's so
super
much
go into it,
diminishing
but basically
returns,
the idea would be
Pachi.
that like you'd have different comps.
I
from
don't
the
think I
best teams in
can.
every dungeon.
I don't think I can pull it off.
And I thought that would have made it interesting just to see why they chose this things that they did. That'd just be an extra level of interest. But it's really hard to force people to do that. My version had them having every class, the really good classes cost 5 points, and the really bad ones cost 1, and everything in between, and you only had 15 points to spend, and each team would probably value certain things differently.
lights on.
Maybe this
It's the
person
last
mains a
one to
class
show
that costs
killing.
3 points, so for them it's really value. Like that stuff would be
Do
really
you have
cool.
anything?
But like Blizzard's not
Oh,
going to
very little.
Oh my gosh, no.
any of their classes
Yeah, if he
because
starts
like they
if
make
that
them and
white
they should
swan
be
guy
balanced,
starts
right? I guess. So,
Yeah.
putting
So-
out like
so, like,
line
that
on
would
you,
be
you
good.
got
Play
change the
one of the
cooldown.
1-point
It
classes.
hurts.
That image would be in that class Discord perma. Yeah.
Like, can't they
Yeah.
also
Still
just
waiting on
like make
Zach.
points based off of how played something is?
Yeah, they could. And there are
just release
systems you
their
could do
own,
where
or
you
is this
ban, like one weekend
I'd
you
rather see
ban whatever
better.
was played the most in the
Yeah.
previous weekend or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be
Um,
fun.
I
Except
think there are definitely other ways to do it as well, yeah.
I think there's another issue too, and Dratnos I think has brought this up in the past when the few of you who've remained for our MDI discussions have heard. When it comes to multi-classing, I think another thing people have thought is like, oh well, when you have to play a bunch of different specs, that actually makes this random team who plays less meta things like the ability to compete. And you sweet summer child, that is so not like how much better the best teams are going to be than the lower teams when it also involves the ability to multi-class things. They're way better when everyone's playing their mains. When you're adding multi-classing, they're like way better, right? So it's gonna make it even like less inclusive.
Yeah.
There could be a team that signs up that's playing the current meta comp for the patch because they have, I don't even know what the meta comp is right now. I'm just gonna say they have a like mage player or a moonkin player, but that dude doesn't play alts. So whenever that thing gets cut after the first day, they're cooked, you know. And you're watching a suboptimal team with things they can't play on the last day, you know. So like I don't know, I think there's some downsides, but hell, it's better than not, right? Are we all there? It's better than running it back the same shit, or no?
Yeah, this feels half-baked for sure, the whole format. But so here's what I'll say. From a viewer perspective, it's probably going to be significantly more interesting. Although I do wish it was in the global finals instead of. So if this is only
so
in the
worth
cups.
noting it's only in the group weekends.
Yeah, and it kind of
yeah.
like. It's like you were saying, Max, how like a lot of people were just going to play to qualify. So if there's not as much at stake to just like, you know, playing pretty standardly.
Oh.
Whereas, you know, if
Do I need to do some Honkai stuff? I can do some Honkai stuff tomorrow night, I think.
You're having to like strategize.
Today's only Monday.
It takes another one.
So that's like one part of it. And then from the player perspective, like if I were to compete in this, it probably sucks more than it is good. So the barrier to entry to doing MDI is going to be significantly higher because you're just going to have to put in way more practice time figuring out how to play these comps with a certain strategy. You know, I mean, just figuring out how to play the class alone is going to be a huge deal. But like you said, some people only play Enhancement Shaman, for example. Then they're kind of boned. And for...
I think my crit's too high.
Just like the whole figuring... I mean, I don't know. I have to see it myself. Like, I don't know how I would strategize this, personally. I haven't, like, been in that situation where I'm, like, thinking, do I play this comp or do we play this comp instead?
Yeah, I mean, I think what you do is you do some like juggling if you can, where, you know, you shift around so you play like 4 out of 5 of the good specs and you kind of cycle which good spec you're, because especially this season there's a couple of close replacements you could do, so you could do a lot of work to still have your good comp and also save your best specs and like be banning 3 specs you don't care about banning for the last day. It's worth noting that they're looking at every run that you do as long as it improves your scorecard somehow. So what you could do is you could just play a shitter comp for the lower level key, whatever they give you to start, right? And then, you know, cycle in 4/5 of the good comp for the actual push keys at each level or in each dungeon, and then you end up banning
16 Boomkin. Oh my
specs that you don't care
god.
about that way. So.
Oh my
but,
god.
you know, even the decision to do that is going to cost you some time relative to just playing your strongest stuff. And if there are 2 teams that are close together, maybe you just play your strongest stuff and you're like, yeah, we're going to lose on Sunday.
Jesus.
I at least think that will be interesting to watch at least once, right? Like at least for a couple, for one weekend, I think it'll be great. And then maybe we look at it and we're like, okay, actually, this isn't the best way to do a class rule. But...
We'll have lost.
Yeah, now that it's not in the global finals, I kind of like that. The reason why is it's possible it's fun to watch the
There's no way
and it's like, this kind of stinks, and they're not beholden to it. I think you try. I think this is just like a little put their feelers out, little test.
Yeah, it's experimental for sure.
Yeah, so
yeah, I'm a huge fan of experimentation to the point that even if I think an experiment is bad as well, I'll always be happy that they're doing it if it's
Yeah,
like
I
the first
agree.
time they're
Me
experimenting
too.
with anything. But
That's
I
Maybe I
think
should
that
just
this
go
is
do delves.
a good experiment on the merits as well. Although I will say it's probably not
I think that's probably
exactly how
better
I would
use
have
of
done
my
a class
time right
stacking
now. I'm
or
trying to
like a
think
class
about
diversity
combat so I
rule
could drink.
if I was doing it, but I think it's still a pretty good implementation.
How would you do it?
I would do like.
But do I want to do
ban a
creek falls?
specific
Creek falls
spec
has like
per
a
dungeon,
shit
and
ton
you
of
just
spider
ban
webs,
some
doesn't
meta
it?
specs in each dungeon, and you announce
No,
that
6 can be
Earth
hero.
Crawl.
the week before or whatever. You're like, okay, no VDH in Floodgate, you know.
You mean like
no
Blizzard does it,
no
or-
disc priest in Cinder.
Yeah,
yeah, no,
Gilded
I would do it
Blizzard
like I would
does
have
it.
Blizzard. do it.
I'm just gonna
And
go
announce it
do
as
a
part of the map
delve, I
pool,
think,
that,
because
like,
I was
this
thinking
spec is
about
banned in
maybe
this dungeon
farming a
or
low
something
clef
like that.
for
I think that's
gloves,
how
but
I
I
would
don't know
start
if
out.
the
One
gloves
thing
would
that
drop.
kind of gets me there is, does that? Okay, the reason you're doing, not to say
Should've
there
waited
isn't other
till
reasons
the
to do this, but I
second
feel like
phase,
the
my bad.
reason Blizzard is doing this is because of the chatters.
Right.
And aren't you gonna get the same thing? Okay, you ban Vengeance CH, everyone just plays next best thing. So it's
Yeah,
just
but
same
The
thing.
feel
big
like
thing
Creek
for the
Falls
chatters
kinda
is like
sucks,
the,
though.
the,
Sorry, I
the,
didn't mean to run
the
into
nuclear
that.
case
Stupid
for a chatters is
handle.
when they tune in and they're looking at like in TGP or whatever, it's 4 teams and all 4 of them are playing the exact same comp. And this would go a long way towards making that not something that, because remember the biggest chatters are like on this are the ones that are like the least engaged and tuning in only briefly and looking. So even just kind of like putting your
They
finger
patched
on
the
the
lock
scale
portal?
to make it so that people in different
Nope.
dungeons are going to have
No.
different comps
You
from
can
each
put,
other.
like-
on it.
You put one like on top
would go
of
a
there, I'm
long
pretty
way
sure.
toward, like
Yeah.
you literally wouldn't tune in and see all the teams on the
Okay.
same comp.
Can I
Disoriented.
throw
Fuck
maybe
you, I wasn't even
side
fucking
thing here? I
looking
could be
at him,
totally
dude.
wrong.
Fucking
Yeah.
But okay, let's say the person who
Yeah,
comes in
something you
watches
could-
the stream for
If you can't get it, it's fine.
15 seconds, sees the same comp and is like, boring, same comp, and then leaves. Okay, so let's say
There you go.
everyone's running a different comp. Do you think that person is
back way
watching
up to do
the
that.
MDI for any longer than they were anyway?
Maybe not. But the chatter experience for the people who are watching at least gets better.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean maybe. Yeah, I just
think
don't,
you
I don't
do
think
make a
you
good
can
point.
please. I think you're trying
Yeah.
to please people that don't matter. Is my point.
That's always been the argument that we've made whenever, like back in the past when Blizzard wasn't doing this. I think all of us were on team. There are a lot of ways to do this that would be a lot worse than doing nothing, right?
So I think what would create hype factor is if you can get a team to just like pull out some wild card and just
Yeah.
make everyone pog out. And the best example I can use of this is when we played in our first MDI against Echo, and we just like pulled out.
My slowy toe him down,
compounded,
just back up.
Arms Warrior TG or Arms Warrior Theater Pain, yeah.
Yeah. And then people were just like, "Holy shit! You know, like this is fucking sick to watch." Like, that's the type of
Yeah.
excitement or scenario that they would need to create, and I don't know how they can exactly do that.
Yeah, I also think that would be hype, but it's also a case like how do you do that besides the way that it happened with the Arms Warrior, which is literally just have a game that's like closely balanced enough that some, you know, some main of a spec can identify a cool niche for it.
Yeah. I will say, I mean, they did do a pretty good job balancing this season, so
Yeah.
definitely a lot more interesting choices.
Yep. This dungeon I'm realizing how much DBM carries me. Holy
That can
fuck.
conclude our MDI discussion. Welcome
The
back,
audio
everybody.
cues
who's
are-
Well,
skipped
actually,
the
also, I will
chapter.
say
Kinda
one more
big.
thing is,
Never mind.
it is going to be, something you didn't mention is they're completely removing MDI. I don't know if you guys know this, but
Yeah, it's
gonna
just the
be
TGP this season.
He
format.
told spread
Yeah.
for the 800th
So
time.
that's all we're
That
saying.
makes sense. So like I think in history,
instills-
if you're
instills
going
it
to look
into you,
at
that's
the
for sure.
MDIs that are and MDI or TGP, just the dungeon tournaments that are the most hype, it's kind of an equal amount of MDIs and TGPs outside of the few early MDIs where it was like really new. Like I remember the mandatory Echo Halls of Valor ending and the MDI was sweet, but like really it wasn't the MDI that made that sweet. It was just that it was really close. It was two teams being very closely competing and, you know,
I didn't
going
know
down
they
to
picked
the
Melee.
game.
I thought
What does
all of
But, like,
TGP
the
stand
TGP is
for in the
everything.
Blizzard
I think
events?
the TGP, I think we all kind of agree, it just has more upside. It's also just infinitely more relatable to the watcher. It's things
Yeah.
that people do. People do high keys. People don't do.
This video is
Oh, the
sweating.
great
do
push.
if
Yeah,
you
the
were
great
doing
push
an
was really
18
cool.
In the TGP, some crazy shit. Maybe someone in the chat has done a 16 or a 15, and they're like, "Wow, that's fucking crazy."
Oh,
like,
piece
it
for
was
the
hard
Demon
for me to
Hunter,
do
let's
15.
go. Actually
They're doing
worked.
that much more damage, and they're living this mechanic that like kills us every time. But like when people are doing the MDI, they don't even know what they're watching. They're
Give me that weapon.
They're
Yeah, I don't
watching,
need it.
they're watching lower keys getting pulled like
Actually, I
their
don't.
fucking normal dungeons at the beginning of an expansion. And they're like, I don't even. Is this hard? I can tell you from the MDI. Some of those pulls took like,
Oh my god.
like full
You
practice
guess overall
days
DBM?
in some cases on one pull. Do you guys remember the Ataldazar pull?
Oh, I was thinking the Ataldazar. The Ataldazar Yeah, big
so
pull to
not
start.
the snap. The snap was not hard, but you had to. But that's because you used like every cooldown
You got
on the
Tinted Road
snap.
Pain?
After you killed Razan and you had to do the like where you would
What do you
normally
think
go
you're
into
paying?
Taltazar and go left,
Kyle did.
and you would do that big pull with all of the.
I think that
the
11.
Colossuses
Confessors,
and the
yeah.
confessors.
Or did that 11
pull
even
with
work
no
for you?
CDs
I guess you don't get the.
was insane.
portal.
Like 7 hours of then the fervent strikes and grouping it. Like, that pull was so fucking hard. Like 7 hours, and then like a viewer would watch that and they're like,
What was that?
wow,
How many did we
snap,
run? 3?
and you can't even appreciate the shit that's actually possible
yeah.
because you're just focused on
If we
the
run one
visual
more,
thing,
Steven
you know?
gets.
The opposite is true too. I mean, like if they see some
or,
crazy
I guess,
pull that
2
actually
missing
is
bolts.
pretty easy to pull off. It's
Steven
just like
also may kill himself.
you just had a lot of
Yeah.
cooldowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I just think
It's
the
fine.
MDI was just
Dude, ranged in
infinitely
keys fucking
less
sucks
relatable
balls, dude.
than the
Unless
TV.
you're only
Even though
range,
it
yeah.
sometimes was a
Yeah.
spectacle, I can just
So
tell you from
fucking
someone
gay.
competing in it, it's like oftentimes the spectacle wasn't even
Kevin, you
too
need it
hard.
on your hunter?
In like the Awakened season, it was like the kiting of that was bullshit. Like the ones where you actually pulled the 3 or 4 Awakened guys on
I don't
top
mind
of the
doing
boss
that.
and live. That was
I just
fucking
need smoke in
impossible. It was
between
so
every one of
hard.
those.
But like all the
Not two
focus was
drags.
like on like the Mistweaver running in a fucking circle, you know? I don't know.
Every
Yeah.
prior you've done has gone terribly. Dude,
I think the TGP format as
you
well
better
is
have, you better have
it's-
perks next time we go in there.
OP for
Oh,
always
so it's
having a
my
close
fault, dude.
finish.
It's my
It
fault.
is.
Unless a team
The
is
Warriors,
so
dude. The
far
Warriors
ahead
that bring
that
no
they're
utility.
dominating.
No,
Yeah.
Every time I've done priority, guess who's
You
been
could have
in
a team that
You.
is
Will.
good enough that they would,
Will,
they would
dude.
smoke their
Guess
competition
who-
in MDI,
yeah, hey,
and it still
guess who
looks
has a
close
time
until the
10,
end in
dumbass?
TGP, because you always have that
That's
spot where
right.
it's like, okay, if
There
this
must
team
have been
goes
100
for
there
this
for
and one-shots this run, like, yeah, never mind the fact they probably won't, but if they do, then all of a sudden they're tied again, right?
I don't know,
Like,
Will kinda
almost
carried me.
always by the
Did
end
I
of the
do it?
day,
You will? Did you
there's a
plug it?
win condition for most teams for the last,
I'm not
like,
sure.
going into the last hour
Let's
of the
see.
day.
Because I have it,
Here's
too.
how they could use this last hour to win.
I think you did do
It's
it.
very fun.
Dude, that's why I think beating it at offense in TVP, it has to be like Mario Kart, where you can just like send
Send a blue shell
like,
over.
Yeah, like just
Yeah.
like stun regular
Yeah.
5 seconds, and you just like send it if you're behind. That would add so much.
I mean, okay, low key that
Yeah,
is
for
a
Keith.
nice cook. It's just the way
Ah.
to implement that and have it not be.
This was
a
Kyle
complete
too.
meme
Oh,
is
that was overtime.
impossible.
bro, just Drat is just bad.
This
You
is the
just
one.
like popping off.
Oh, yeah,
here
it
goes a
was-
stun on growl.
Is
Holy
bad
shit,
enough
you're doing the
K-pop
craziest pull ever,
and
but he just got
Keith.
stunned for 5 seconds.
Yeah, if
Me
you ever
healer,
time a world
here's
first
tanking.
key, or if like
Looks like
you
you're
get
the
to a
common
certain
denominator
level,
here,
you
pal.
use one of
I see the
things and you
issue,
just send
yeah.
the shell over to another team, and then you're
I
talking
mean,
about
Kyle
what
was
you're gonna
sweating
do.
there.
They have,
Kevin
like,
was-
the fucking
Kevin was
OP
keeping up.
TV up on their monitor, just waiting to fucking wipe them.
Maybe
Oh
if
my
you
God,
would
that
have
would
picked
be
a better
so
class.
fun.
Also, be super
Yeah.
toxic.
Maybe we would have killed things
Yeah,
faster.
they should do that for like a charity tournament or something. If they, even if they, that would be so
It'd
fun.
be so annoying to be the best team too, because like every
Yeah.
like Echo when they were in their prime, like literally every team's gonna be stunning them on every fucking dude. They would lose their mind.
Yeah, have you seen now? He like did a blindfolded raid where people were just like playing fart noises, giga loud, using his donos. So
Oh, that was
that
the
the
I should've
every
been
time
recording
what
that.
was going on.
If we
Yeah.
time this theater of pain, Zach,
Yeah, something like that would be,
priority is
would
the
be
only
very funny.
one that I do not have.
Okay, let's do our Patreon
No
question.
way I can copy
Our Patreon
one.
question this
like
week
you just
comes
like
from
straight up
Ryan that says,
one-to-one copy.
if you had a chance to modernize one raid boss to today's mythic standard,
like a talent
which
page.
would it be and why? And I have
So I
a
can just
follow-up
like move it
question to this,
over and
which
just name that one like
mostly
Purge.
for Max, I guess. How far back in history do you think you'd have to go for Gallagher
just,
to be
like,
a hard
duplicate-
boss?
I don't.
Oh, that's fascinating.
That was my
That's
the
dumb.
question I wrote
I don't
down.
think
but,
through,
but
like,
it
the
relates to
game,
this
but-
Patreon question.
Oh wow. Okay, let's answer the first one first. That second
Yeah.
one is.
So what do you
gonna
wanna
be
do here?
really fucking-
I just want to
Okay.
duplicate
copy
one of
paste
my
into
pages.
another.
I mean, I have a.
Yeah.
Actually, I
My
can.
answer's
Actually,
like-
Oh, you can.
There's a
Discord.
buffer.
Because I've been
Share
like
the
that.
share
Like
or
when
share.
Karag
Or
wasn't
share.
good, I
Yeah.
was just like, they could have made it late 10 and they fucked it up. And Gallywix actually, I think there's a version of Gallywix that could have been Lei Shen. So yeah, I want them to redo Lei Shen. They haven't done it. It's just it's the perfect mixture of
Moon, after this, I
of
can do like
a
a
fight
7.
progressing in difficulty and also doing area denial.
I want
at
a
the same time.
10.
Get rid of one side of the room. Now that mechanic is empowered.
You don't need a
forever.
10.
I need it. I want my portals.
Admittedly, it would be much cooler to do a boss like
Oh,
this
that's
off
not
stream rather than stream.
I want my 3K.
because everyone would just like do the thing that everyone else is doing.
I don't need a
Where
10, you're right. I need 12s and
top five
13s.
build, kill it, and then Lei Shen
You don't need 12
die.
better increase your damage.
The videos of top 5 guilds and like everyone did it in a different order because
Dude, you get it. What did you get at
there'd be a
2K?
reason why you
Just the mount that you get at 2K, but in a different color.
You get your virginity
Another
back.
reason it'd be nice
It's unpainted.
is because the intermissions on Lei Shen fucking suck.
It's cool.
How can I get my
They'll, like,
virginity
spread out
back
into
if I never
corners
left?
and, like, soaks
Oh,
and shit and, like,
never mind.
AFK. That shit's-
Oh
they
my
can
God.
modernize that for sure. So another reason to
Pogs
modernize
in
it is
chat.
make the
Pogs
only
in
bad
chat.
Even
parts
has that in common.
but
Oh.
I don't know, just like think of the alleyways. So easily
Yeah.
could have been Lei Shen. 4 sides of the circle, the
Yeah,
ones that
definitely.
you and the mythic doesn't start with one of them already gone.
Dude,
you
some
have
of
to
the
remove more of them
slimy
more
trash
quickly,
this-
and the
this thing's
enrage
been
of the
inside
fight
of, I
isn't just
wish.
some random fight timer. It's when you run out of room, kind of as it's theorized in like normal and heroic maybe if you live long enough. And that and
Oh, no,
everything
no,
you
not
get
heard.
rid of makes his
That
suppression.
was a
If you
great
get
time.
rid of this corner, his suppression
It's
gets
the
bigger. If you
one
get rid of this
before and
corner,
the one
healing
after
absorption
that
bigger. If you get rid of this corner,
give me nightmares.
you know, just whatever. Another one. Are those his only
I
2
know there's
mechanics? I have
one
no idea.
after.
Like, there's probably another couple mechanics in that fight.
There was a
those get
very
bigger.
unfortunate one after.
That could have been that. So I would love to see that modernized. I'm not sure about what you
Good answer, yeah.
I just
Dorky,
don't
you
know
it
what
doesn't have
point
to
I would
be-
take away.
I guess it does have to be a WoW one. Although if you have a,
Tier
I know you played some other
various.
MMOs, so if you have any fights from anywhere else as well, feel free to get creative with your answer if you want.
Do you want it in your hunter or?
Personally, I feel kind of like the
yeah.
opposite. I would rather
Damn, your calendar's so tight, dude.
dial the back.
Classic
Yeah, I
guy,
mean, you
classic goodbye.
Just accept it.
Like, to me, I feel like
yeah, I'd
there's
keep
too
that.
many swirlies.
Yeah, it's good.
Like I've complained a lot about swirlies. I prefer if there were less swirlies on some fights. Like I don't mind having some fights where like, all right, you do the mechanics. and then
You had him,
there's
Kevin?
just not 50 billion.
Dude,
swirlies.
I had it basically all the way up until.
Isn't that literally Gallywix is literally just like, I'm going to stand 700 swirlies.
He was
at you
sweating.
for
Yeah,
this
you're talking
match.
about, like,
I don't understand this
Yeah.
choice
Like,
either.
oh, dude, by the way,
Why would
Gallagher
you just not get
swirlies
greater
are
perks if you
bullshit.
have the
I don't know
choice
if
to
you
do
guys
them
know,
too
not
bad?
like the ones where you just tank, or like, supposed to tank, like the ones
So you
that
just need to get rid of something anywhere
it just
on the
like
left side?
I feel like it's
Doesn't matter what you get
impossible.
rid of,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Maybe I'm crazy, but like I swear.
The
Yeah,
little ones that come
something.
out after the
What about the
bombs.
lava burst giving you mana?
Yeah, it's like big red circles, kind of.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's probably
Bottom left.
the
It's
one,
like red
Those-
circles
one I
right
should.
over,
Race
like,
weapons.
I have a hack for you.
You're
Those
supposed to kinda
10,
tank.
those 10 should not go where the big circles.
It's better for
were.
raiding because it gives you other healers
So
around
yeah,
you.
you're
more
talking
than
about the
one.
two ones.
No, like throughout the entire fight.
Yeah, well,
Ah,
like,
okay.
I guess most.
Because yeah,
Oh,
so they come out in
sure,
P1 after the
No,
big
bring
red
my
tank
computer.
circle,
Cause
and they come
I
out in
wanna practice
P2
that
after the
skill.
spread.
Dude, we almost had it
Red
12
circles
times,
on
and then we
everybody,
got
on random people.
Fuck.
They
That's
won't go
unfortunate.
What
where
happened on the
those
left
circles
us?
were.
Who ate the front
Main
one?
sub,
So
right?
they
All
will
of
try
us.
and go
Oh.
spaces that
Well,
were empty.
it's not. That is
Oh, no,
true, but
join
you're
group.
missing the mechanism of why that happens. So they spawn. They're Dathia random. The reason I refer to as Dathia random is I believe this is the first raid boss this is ever true. We were trying to like bait the tornadoes. People would figure out why some of them went to us and some other ones went other places. And it's because half of them, literally half of them were baited on
He
you, and
almost
half
let
of
me
them
beat
were
him. Now
really
he's
random.
forced to not
So they're
fucking
Dathia.
15 island
Half
behind him.
of those bombs are baited on players and half are not.
Class diff.
And the big circles are where
Same-
you
same
can't
plus.
be standing.
Man,
unless
this
you
is
wanna
like
get
the
that
same
debuff.
conversation that was
So the
happening
bombs
last night
pick
when
their
Cora
location
beat
when those things
Will.
go off, and obviously shouldn't be stacked in them. So you're just moving to a place where you
And you
cannot
know,
possibly
sometimes
bait
the
them.
the
There's
gods
an
just smile
extremely low
upon certain
chance that there
specializations.
will- It
What
could
can I say?
happen. Half of them, or
True.
roughly half of them
Arms.
are random.
I
So
shouldn't even
you
be
could
close.
get them, but yeah, that's why that happens.
Interesting. I thought it was more a case of like each circle spawned some, and it would never spawn it within itself.
Where are we going?
But I could see, yeah, that makes sense as well. Either way, though, the hack is just move into where one of the circles just was, and you're.
You can also.
I wouldn't
get
mind
like
this one if it
round
wasn't
before
such
they
an
go bad.
ugly place. I would look at it
still
like
not
full
sure
time
which
and then they're like 45 minutes.
I think we are, yeah. You're
That's
talking
what
about like
it feels
the little
like.
bombs that explode.
Are you talking about the suppression red
I hope
circles? That's the
not.
only other red circle thing.
I'm not talking about.
Yeah,
theater
the
thing.
delayed.
It's not a 12.
explosions, but
It's like it's at the
It's a
same
10,
time as
right?
blazes, kind of. There's like the
Yeah,
big
don't
red
make it an
circles
11.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the same
Well,
ones. So those
I could've
spawn,
gone back.
You can actually see them. So
I mean,
as
I
soon
still
as
don't
those
think
little
that.
circles go off in pizza, or like the bigger
It's a
circles,
tight
there's like
timer.
5 of them. I think there's exactly 5 of them. You will see like
So
little
let me
small
turn on
bombs go all
DBM,
over the
apparently.
platform if you watch a VOD, and then they will turn
I
red
have my
right before they
add-ons
blow
set to
up.
my
But you can
world.
actually see them for like I want to say like almost 5 seconds before they turn red. You know
It wasn't
they'll
my
be.
fault, dude. You guys can't hit your fucking cooldown buttons.
But yeah, that fight is very much swirlies and bombs and stuff. Which I could understand.
I
wanting
healed
the
for
era
more
of
than
WoW
I've
when there was less of those, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
I always enjoy dodging a good swirly, but playing tank makes it easier because I don't have to. I do it as a hobby.
Yeah, they have to make. They've made
felt your shout,
thousands
Kev.
of like
Will
bosses
does not
at this
appreciate
point,
your
including
shout.
dungeons and raids.
That was more
so
of
you
a
have to
jab
come
at
up with some
Steven more than
consistent
anybody,
elements
just
that you
'cause I
can
know
use
how much
between them
he
to
hates
add
keys.
difficulty, and swirly's one of
I
them
do
that I
hate
think
keys.
is pretty respectable. I think as long as you don't overuse it as swirly.
Dude, I
whenever
ate
you're
so many
on the
cookies.
content.
That new
Yeah, I don't like
that new
throwing
add-on
games,
comes out, I'll never have to do them again.
So,
Cookies are not
playing
even on my
Raid has some times.
cookies are not even on my demon
Maybe
hunters
they overdid it this raid
bars.
because they came out with a new swirly system.
mean,
so they're
you
like,
have so
"Fuck
much
it,
self-healing.
We can just do swirlies
It's
now
unreal.
because it's obvious where they are."
I basically don't even have
Yeah,
to
I
touch
would
you
choose
aside
Lich
from like
King.
tank busters.
Iconic fight. You know, very poggers.
What about Lich
My
King?
Earth Shields
Just
is
like
the-
you would
you
want
know,
to see an
spots whatever.
iconic character
Just-
like Lich King
yeah.
get a
Whatever
modern
else
raid
you need.
fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
Like
so
I mean,
yeah.
it has some mechanics that have been like Defile is kind of an interesting one that I guess they brought back on Jailer, but it's not especially interesting. It's just a
Oh, we have
don't stand in
soothing
it, or else
Jailer
we
was
come up
on
with a
Android.
creative new way that it's really bad to stand in it.
Is there any
But,
Soothe in
like,
this one? Should I
I
run
just want the
Soothe?
flavor of that fight. You know,
Purge,
you're fighting
yes.
on top of the castle, and he freezes and then removes and refreezes the
Your
edges of the
options,
room. Like
purge
that's
or
so
what?
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Or
mean, I
your-
will say.
This lava burst gives me mana.
So
Yeah.
I don't
Just
really,
run for it all the
really,
time.
really look back to because I didn't really raid back in the day.
Lava first
But I
gives
will say,
me
like,
that.
I do want something more.
Dude, I opened
cinematic
up your
for-
talent tree and that's the first one I read, and I went, I think
Ooh.
that's probably
Okay,
the one to go.
give me an example. What do you mean?
Well, just exactly like what
But-
Jado said, right? Like the whole idea
You
of
just
like
want
some
epic
mana.
shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want some
Yeah.
epic shit. It's been a long time since we had some epic shit.
Is
I
it
feel
just
like all
because
the
of
raids in
nostalgia
the
and that
past
it's like the
month-
best WoW?
I really
character
don't
and it can
DPS,
never be
not really a
replaced,
lot of
though? Like I'm
time.
just saying, like what does cinematic mean? Like what?
Gul'dan was cinematic too, right? And
Sometimes.
Argus, right? Like you had the fucking red sides cover the whole room, and that was you die and get rezzed on Argus, and then Gul'dan is
Yeah,
like
yeah, just
ripping a
something great.
hole in space time and sucking you towards the edge, and then Illidan's in the crystal and comes down at the end. Like those are all things where you could literally just describe the story of the fight as like, holy shit, this is so cool. And
Yeah,
then
because if you look at the recent history fights, it doesn't feel that way.
Yeah,
Jailer
like-
could have been epic, but like just it doesn't look epic. You know, you're just in like some room and
Yeah.
Azeroth in like the middle or something. Like, I don't know what the hell was happening.
it's obviously not Azeroth, right? It's like it's a little
Do you think
circle thing.
Do you think it's a
Oh, yeah.
coincidence that all of the fights and characters you just named are like super iconic WoW characters, and it's possible that there's just a finite amount of those?
I'm a person.
Yeah,
There's
like
a lot of
Jado,
really,
like
there's a lot of really fucking cool.
Oh,
raid
hold on, hold on.
you know,
I'm
and it's
lagging. I'm
like
lagging. Don't
Black
pull.
Hand, but there's another one
give me a
really
sec.
iconic WoW character, right? So like, Black
happening?
Hand was also really cinematic.
I'm just
Well,
I'm
Black
just
Hand
stuck in a
wasn't,
loading
like,
screen.
iconic.
All
I guess
of
it
a
was.
sudden.
Yeah, it was iconic.
Okay, I'm
Archimage
back, I
was
guess.
a super fucking crazy
Interesting.
looking last phase. That fight was awesome.
How much
Why
is
do you
this
just
though?
have
Like
left?
these people
Have
have
left.
epic and cinematic fights,
Hugging as
and
hard as I
therefore
can.
we remember them more than like that makes them the epic.
Oh, that
character.
makes them the epic character. Well, Lich King was certainly predefined, but
Yeah,
and,
Lich King,
and,
but like
and-
when you think about a fight like Black Hand, for instance, if that fight was stupid instead of like awesome, how much would that change our
Yeah.
memories of Black Hand, right?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, same with like Enza
That's just
or
damage?
Gahun, right? They are kind of
what do you love?
Right, those are epic.
ish bosses.
That's my bad.
but
Mizoth in particular, like that's an epic lore character, and then the fight is definitely a little bit less. You know, you go to the heart chamber
yeah, what the fuck?
to come out. Like,
You got him
Get him
up
up,
for?
Steven.
that was
Steven.
a version of them
Yeah,
trying to
hi,
make
I
that
can do
happen,
that.
and it wasn't as cool.
And it's not like they couldn't have made these bosses cool too. Like they could have made Farrak do some crazy shit, but he's just kind of like a little drag fear the entire time. He just does some attacks and he transforms into a big dragon and
But they did something
about
cinematic
it.
recently, bro. Cauldron of Carnage. Holy fuck. That
That's
is
that's
cinema.
true.
That is
That
cinema.
no real that. It's just like
Absolute
cinematic difficult end boss is
Yeah, it's a good
a
point. But
combo.
you'd have to go and look back as to like when was the last one and why did they stop happening. There's been a lot of like
We all
like
stack up.
non-end bosses
We
that have
can-
been
Yeah, we're not
cinematic,
gonna
like
have room to
Star
move soon.
Augur.
Yep.
While very difficult, was also just like the way it looked
It's coming right to you.
was just like very finite. I mean,
Rygalon was awesome.
right?
was fucking
Yeah,
sick.
Rygalon in that way, you're like
They're all
running
gonna,
out of
like,
room,
just move
you know,
backwards as a
and like,
group.
and anytime you like feel like you're racing to the finish,
We all
there's like
stack
a
up.
there's like a cast that just kills all of you. There's a few of those this year actually very.
Mugsy
rarely.
has that, yeah, and Bandit. Both of them do like a long ass cast before you wipe at the end. Gallywix even, although it doesn't actually wipe you when it finishes the cast, it finishes
Yeah.
the cast and then nothing happens for 2 seconds. You're like, what?
Okay, and then speaking of Gallywix, you asked me when was the last. So can you rephrase? When was the last time Gallywix would have been a difficult end?
Yeah, like how if you could go back in time and insert Gallywix in like Gul'dan spot, would the Raiders at the time have been like, this is so hard?
I would say
right?
Shadowlands.
That's
my
interesting.
opinion.
You think Shadowlands? You think if we replaced Jailer?
Okay, so we're trying to gauge two things. So basically, just for people who are listening, like some people might have heard that and just gone crazy. You're trying to. So gamers have gotten a lot better over time, and you can be like, oh, like, I play this game now, and I play this game in Legion. I remember doing like KJ, and it was super hard, bro. If you just for the sake of argument, if you were to do KJ now, you and anyone you were playing with there and now would just completely smoke.
You know, somehow I was
like,
a new record.
The rating is so much harder. Players are so much better.
Yeah,
as a result,
Kevin's playing against
go hand
so
in
much
hand.
more resources.
Yeah, there's so much more resources. Yeah, like so.
Fuck
so,
off.
we're basically tasked with like trying to guess how much players are getting better over time. I can't say about the general community because I'm kind of detached from that, but I can say for the race world first. That like specifically from BFA to like, I mean now, but even BFA to like the end of Dragonflight, middle of Dragonflight, every single tier the guilds were getting like noticeably better. They're recruiting better players. So like if you're comparing
every time Kevin dies, it's my fault.
Like Gallywix.
I think to myself, man.
And you can figure the boss out too. Is that an element that matters? Or are you talking about like your all's experience with it? I don't know, but Shadowlands. No, I mean, if you had this instead of like Sylvanas.
Oh, move in. You guys are killing it.
I don't know about.
What
is difficult end boss mean?
Chasing around the world.
Like suitable.
Oh, does the melee have to move a little bit? That's rough, dude.
All the time.
Oh man, that sucks.
Dude, it must be nice playing range, just the fucking playing your feet.
Yeah, playing your feet. Yeah, I'm the only one with circles under me 90% of the fucking dungeon.
Bullshit.
Play a range, dude. Find out.
I have, dude.
I said
for 30
before,
minutes,
I really think
dude. Come on,
Starcraft
that
and
doesn't
Gallywix are like very similar.
I could beat you on core right now.
Pull counts.
You probably
say
could,
that to
dude.
be true, but also just in
You
general.
got the lucky class.
And we're also way better now than we were on Starcraft.
Yeah, I can't get that kick.
It's the flavor of the month thing you keep doing.
I want to say for sure.
How many ults do you have?
Like 100% of Gallywix and
lots
Emboss
of
and
ults.
Legion.
I like
That's
to play
not
World of
something
Warcraft.
people are going to look back on and be like, this was so much easier than the rest of those bosses that would have been like pretty normal. When we're getting to BFA,
weren't that hard too.
Yeah, well, they were like, that's the thing. Like Gahoon was like 300 pulls or something like that. Like, dude, Gahoon would get Astro shit on.
Pulls.
It would get Astro shit on by today's guild. So like, I think probably Gahoon, Jane, I don't know. Eternal Palace was so weird because like hundreds of those pulls were just on an unkillable phase. N'Zoth. Man, there's really not a lot going on in N'Zoth, man. Like, it's not that hard. Like, it's like end of BFA, but I don't want to say beginning.
You have my work, Kevin. I'm not gonna let you die ever
At least
again.
if we're talking World First, got so much better then.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean even like
Thank you.
Kevin now, dude. You might not have a choice.
Whatever his name is like.
Dude, I do
that
feel
boss
bad
is
when Kevin
still
dies.
pretty easy compared to.
If it's over you and Kyle and I have to
Like,
choose
only
one to
30
heal,
more pulls
I'm
than
gonna.
World First.
I mean, you're gonna pick the better warrior, right? I mean,
But Massacre was just harder than everything on Gallywix alone.
I mean, we came to that debate.
Is that?
We
I
wanted
don't
to
like
use
it.
already.
Massacre was fucking hard, man.
It was just
Yeah,
hard
they
to
slowed
see,
it down
but,
a
like,
lot for when one of the nerfs, right?
Oh, yeah, okay, maybe I didn't really catch the nerfs, but
You basically, so the reason, like most end bosses die for World First and then people kill them in less time than that because it's nerfed by gear, but Gallywix Massacre was the great equalizer. You could not kill Denathrius until the worst player in your guild was going to consistently
It's just single
live
target for
Massacre in
MM
P2,
right
P3.
now.
okay. To be fair, though, I do feel like Massacre was
That's not
harder
strong.
to see.
Yeah.
That's true. Visual
that's
clarity
part of
was
the difficulty. That's part of why web.
Fucking this
That's
guy's
part of why
compilation of,
Webblades
like,
was
highest
probably the hardest
damage
mechanic
damage.
ever. Was like the animation of the line going away and it
Like
still
highest
being able to
burst
do
and
damage.
MM
right?
was on it
That-
for
Well, I mean, but it was just like straight up hard to see because that was during the era of like it was red on red.
Yeah, red on red.
It was just like impossible. to see.
That's real shit though. It was also just really fast. It was really fast. Like you could just make a decision of like I'm gonna be safe here, and then it's not, and then you have no way out and you die, and it's a one shot. I don't know if they ended up nerfing those.
I'm pretty sure they nerfed speed of Massacre. I think maybe I'm hallucinating.
I mean,
but
if they
think was
did,
one of
that
the
would
nerfs
have
they
been
did.
like the biggest nerf of that fight because like gear nerfed the fuck out of that fight. Oh, dude. Also, yo, another thought. That tier and Sylvanas was the last tier where we had damage stops in farm and progression.
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed that those are back?
Yeah. They're back
for the first time in like 4 years.
Bandit has a massive damage stop as well. Like if you do Bandit faster, it's so cringe.
Yeah, because the order that everyone's used for us in progression, which by the way we're about to change on farm for this exact reason, is you do Shock and Flame last and Shock and Bomb 5th. But when you push the last phase on Mythic, it puts both of those coils directly in the center of the room, and that really sucks. So you have to wait until the 6th ads die and you dunk the 6th thing. The alternative is you have to come up with a completely different order, which we will be doing shortly. But yeah, it's
I didn't know that. But that's definitely not the last time, because there was that Dragonflight 2nd tiers. What was the boss before Sakura?
Echo of
Neltharion?
Yeah,
why would you wait on?
Well, you couldn't damage him below a certain amount, right? When the... Oh, no, you could, right?
Yeah, you want
need
to wait
like, kill all the P2 ads before you...
Oh, this is deep into farm. Yeah, so it phased into P3 when you got him to a certain HP percentage, or when you killed enough ads, but if you phased him before that 3rd ad died, I think maybe something happened. But basically, you're talking about, like, this used to be here's the reason why. What happened with phases in the past, and they're just bringing back, is it would be like this phase starts at 40%. This phase starts at 70%, like Denathrius, or, One Armed Bandit, or Muggsy. They didn't do those for years because, specifically Venthyr Moonkin, actually, because, like, usually you would just, like, fuck around, like, who cares, but the fact that Venthyr Moonkin existed meant that you were going to wait
I think
because
I might have
it's so
turned it off.
powerful.
I know I
And
had
they
to
just
turn
stopped
frame
making it
gen
forever
off
'cause the
on
feedback was
AMD
stopping
drivers
damage stuff.
because
So now they do the Sarkra phase.
frame gen
where
was actually
the
causing
phase
mad
is 2
input
minutes long
delay.
and then it ends. P1 Gallywix on Heroic. The phase is 2 minutes long and then it ends. And then it moves on to the next one. And there are
Were you
damage
seeing
thresholds,
some
but
screen
they're
tearing?
Really, like,
Yeah, you can't hit them unless you're way over.
My triple buffering is
yeah,
on.
exactly. So like that's how they've designed fights almost
Seems
exclusively
good.
for the
Oh,
last
to
3
turn
years,
it
and now
off
they're
to fix
kinda
the
back.
freezes?
And I can tell you from a little bit of farm, damage stopping feels just as bad, and I'm not sure I'm a big fan of it being back.
Yeah, do you remember they nerfed Sire?
On to fix. Well, I've definitely had triple
they were
buffering
like, okay,
on, and
it pushes at a lower percent now,
I get them a
and
lot.
also does 15 more seconds before.
But maybe I will turn it off
simultaneously nerf the time
to
and,
get better
'cause you would
input.
wait, like a long time. Like you'd be stopping damage on
less
Denathrius
input
for like
latency.
30 plus seconds. A question: what's the worst damage stop that you guys
go
can remember?
backwards.
Because I can remember one, and it's not even close. It's in.
I should just turn VSync off,
No,
right?
it's-
If I
it's
just
a
turn
bug.
VSync off
It happened to
altogether.
me on
He has a
Warlock
cool one.
yesterday.
Yeah, but Kel'Thuzad, you did it 7 times over the course of this fight.
Yeah, it's a bug.
True. Maybe
Same thing. I didn't even cast it right as soon as I went on top.
P1.
Just
To come
placed the
back,
portal there
yeah.
for some reason.
They're both atrocious.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
the
cool.
one
I was
in,
playing an Ellie Shaman on Sakul, and I meleeed that boss 50 times in P1. I was in Ghost Wolf form, just I was scratching that thing up. I was doing big damn.
When
The
are
one
they
I
gonna?
hate
When are
is,
they gonna make a
Cymox.
Vulcan mode
because it just
for
completely
WoW?
changes the fight. It's like you.
I
you
think that would
actively
make it
grief
easier
the hell
for
out of
me.
your raid if you do too much.
Oh,
damage.
VSync's been off. Okay, so we
There's
need
like
to turn
other fights
VSync
that kind of
on
if something bad happens.
and then turn on triple buffering.
Yeah, that was a good con. That was a good one as well.
All right, damn. Are we just
DirectX 11?
I
Wait,
think
hold on,
we might
one
be.
more
What is this? 2007?
The whole, you said you had
DirectX 11?
Yeah,
Ugh.
what does that mean?
Okay, let's give it a
That
try.
was my question. Was like if you replaced Gallywix with any of these other bosses, or like how far back?
Would
in time
that?
you have
Well,
to go
hold
for
on.
it to
If
be
I
hard?
switch to DirectX
Or, like,
11, wouldn't that
harder
break
boss
my
than
stream?
I don't know.
Ones
About
that were, yeah.
I think another thing that's interesting about that is enjoyable. But the thing is, it sounds like a lot of people have enjoyed.
Oh, but
Gallywix.
see,
They haven't
DirectX
walked away
11 lets
saying that
you,
they hated this. I think there's a certain.
Well, not many
guild
people
rank.
have reached there yet.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
are we
it's good
back?
to see.
And I think there's a lot of guilds at the top that
You
just
don't need
expect.
No,
a
we're back.
challenge.
We're so back,
They're
baby.
playing the game to be challenged in rating, and they got to a boss, an end boss that's supposed to do that, and it did do that.
Like the reaction from your guild and my guild was like.
I mean, this game looks really good for DirectX 11,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
DirectX
Like,
11
you see
doesn't
the
have
THD
ray
stuff, but, like, my
tracing,
guild was
right?
On pull 37, we reached phase 2 for the first time, and we brought the boss to 27% HP, and we were just like, you know, there obviously we knew it was that easy. We knew that Echo killed it in 50 pulls or whatever,
maybe I
but like
just
we
turned
got
off on
we
SVC.
were
The good
there
stuff
doing
right
the phase,
here.
and just like, is it really this easy? And like obviously it's not going to be that easy for everybody, but
I hate these fucking platforms.
I think that it you know.
I'll do anything to stop
The
the
fact that
freezes.
it can be depending
That's right,
on
gameplay
when
first.
you kill Muggsy and
Dude,
all this stuff.
everything
Muggsy
just
may
feels
way
so
more
weird
process
without
than the
DirectX
fight,
12
so
Shadows.
Yeah,
Over
spinning
time,
axis.
Muggsy's getting easier faster
Never
than Galley's
fun
getting
time.
easier for sure.
So
But
tanky.
because Galley like
don't
doesn't
mind
have a
mode.
check. on it.
With one of them
the
you
same
can
way that
skip
Muggsy
if you're
does.
fast.
Yeah, you can skip
I
the
don't know.
last one.
It's,
Yeah, dude, either you guys are built diff or we just fucking suck. Cause
I think it is the fact that like
Bringing
Muggsy.
the right thing
I
again,
do
or-
think Muggsy is getting a lot easier than Gallywix is
Okay,
week over
gotcha.
week.
Requires
Like if you give me 2
DX
item levels on
12.
Muggsy, that makes the fight dramatically easier. You give me 2 item levels on Gallywix, and it doesn't really change much. Like you kind of still just do the
I
exact
feel
same
like
thing to kill the
I am
boss.
noticing
It's
the
just
lack
now
of ray
a
trace
little bit more lenient on
shadows.
a 2% that is now a kill. But, like,
I feel like I need to turn my
getting to
SSAO
easy.
and depth effects to
That's-
high.
Maybe it's just
to
that, or
make
maybe
up
it's a
for
fight that,
it.
like prep works really well on
Bro.
as well in Galley.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
could
I
be
would
it.
I definitely think prep. I think there are guilds that are pretty close in skill level that will show up to raid.
But it
Well,
also
some
lets
guilds
me
with
just
bosses,
blast
like, it's probably
FPS.
easy.
Right.
And then another that still respects it and shows up and is like, well, here are some really important things to know, and they can talk about the boss for legit 15 minutes and save hours of attempts because of that 15 minutes, rather than everyone having to learn things individually. I was gonna say the thing about Galaxy being enjoyable. There's something that happens in Final Fantasy. It's an interesting phenomenon that I think could really benefit WoW and Galaxy.
He jumped right off. I thought I saw that, but I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
dude, I stopped to
There are
watch.
Final Fantasy
I fell through the
guilds
floor.
That a decent
Yes.
amount of them, and they're not groups, they're called stats.
Bugs.
God, they just have to come up with some obnoxious
This is the
stupid
worst.
ass
Yeah,
No,
one.
yes.
that's what they could be calling a lot of games, because that's what we called it back in.
Okay, well,
whatever
guess
game I
what,
played.
Dorky? Their specs are called jobs, by the way.
Okay, well, that I'm
It's
not gonna
complete
agree with,
nonsense.
But,
Grat knows
but the
it's right.
static part is pretty normal. It really got a lot of.
All right, Dorky, silence. All right, so
Okay.
we.
Dorky silence.
He said okay. I can't believe you just ripped an okay.
That was like,
What the stupidity.
He's just so used to it on this podcast these days, you know.
Fucking silence.
I don't have to interrupt.
By the way, have you guys ever said silence to another adult and meant it? That's an insane
told
thing
you
to
Steven
say.
Kyle's
Like
getting old.
just in general, just fucking silence. Okay, these teams, they progress the raid blind.
that one was my fault. To be fair.
Ultimates, savages, but they know
Autopilot
that information
kicked
is
in.
out there, but they're like,
They've
we're gonna
already
figure
been
this
dead.
out on our own. No one does this in WoW because
yeah.
it's just too hard. Like you would just be,
Okay.
it's just too much time. It's just not worth it. Like no one wants to. People are already spending, in some cases, most cases, months doing this. Why would you make this potentially not doable in time,
It's
or
kinda
it's
fun.
just not an option? But if they made raiding, and I don't even know if I'm necessarily advocating for this, because this would suck for me. But if they made raiding easier, if you expected a boss
Now
like
we can skip.
Gallywix, could
Try
a
to
guild
skip
like
that
yours,
last guy.
Ratnos, be like, you know what, we want to do this
Stuck in
blind,
combat.
because it
I'm
wouldn't
stuck
take
in combat.
that
Dude, what
much
is up with
longer,
that shit?
but it would be fucking fun.
It would be so fun. I
Yeah.
feel like Gallywix would be like 200 pulls or something for us if we were doing it blind, or maybe more. But like that's because we don't have the muscle to do that build. which
You're
would
not
be
used
really
to
fun
doing it.
develop.
You're not used to
Yeah.
doing it, but I think it'd be hard. You'd have dissenters in the guild to be like, why don't we just look at this video? You'd actually have people in the guild definitely look up the video and give suggestions, you know? But like
Guys, I thought of this idea.
yeah, exactly. But like, I'm telling you, we had so much fucking fun on Gallywix, and it's still this is a guild that like we want bosses to be as hard as they can possibly be within reason. And it was still just so much fun just because we got to do that. And I just wonder if there's ever a world in WoW where it would make sense.
I don't like this month's mod. I
to
wish I could go back to
have
last
guilds
month.
blind
Just buy all
progress
this
things, because I
from last
think,
month.
man, is that just
This guy does
such
not
a
like
fun
you,
boss to
Ken.
do that on.
So I think you're underestimating the amount of people that actually do blind prog. 'Cause I'm sure there's plenty of guilds and groups out there that blind prog.
In WoW,
But also, I think you pissed off a
I've
bunch
never
of
heard
people.
of one.
Wait, do you mean Final Fantasy?
Oh no, in WoW.
No, no one blind
No
procs
way.
in WoW.
No, there's,
Right?
there's definitely guilds out there.
My ball. Thank you.
Huh? I
don't know, I
am,
hear
I am
about this
personally,
occasionally.
I am personally okay. For,
This
if
is so
anyone
cool,
that is
snail.
in part of one of these teams, I am sorry for slandering and saying no one does this. But like, I actually want to know, because to my knowledge,
hero
there's
here?
literally
Yeah,
not a
commenters.
single, there's not a
say
single
yes.
guild that does this
Okay.
in Mythic, none. And if they do, that's fucking awesome.
That's so cool,
And I
yeah.
want to know about them, and I want to, and holy shit, I want to watch them progress. Please,
Oh,
stream them.
this,
like that is
right.
amazing content. But to my knowledge, no one in WoW does this.
We gotta do is
in
dodge
raid.
stuff, stack when we say stack.
Yeah, and the
You're good.
second thing is, you definitely pissed off a lot of people by saying in Final Fantasy they only do it because it's easier. Because like I know a lot of people who say they like
Stack in the
do
back,
it
right
because
here.
it's fun. In fact, a lot of them are like actually liquid people.
Fuck,
Like
would've been cool to have some
I
imps for
know
that.
Evade and Exile, they're doing the new raid blind. I know Sasevi, he also likes to do a lot of Final Fantasy
Yeah,
stuff.
it's normal for like high level groups in Final Fantasy to do that blind, yeah. But it is also going to take. But them doing that is going to take a couple weeks. If you're doing a WoW Mythic Raid blind, you're signing up for an increase of months of what you're doing. And the main reason is Final Fantasy, through Ultimates and Savages, it kind of throughout an expansion, it kind of ends up equaling like 1.5 raid tiers worth of content if you were to like WoW raid tiers of content if you were to relate it to how much time it takes to clear for World First. That's not a great metric, but it's kind of the only one that I've figured out how to use. So they're releasing, like, think of it like this, Dorky. Instead of releasing one massive raid in Final Fantasy, they're basically releasing like a couple bosses at a time. And if that's the case, I think if that was true in WoW, I think you would see more people blind progging it because it's less of a total investment. But with one massive WoW raid, it's kind of not feasible to do that.
So I think it's also because it's the only content in the game, like end game content. Because, you know, in WoW, there's like M+ and PvP. I mean, PvP is kind of a joke, but there's like, you know, other stuff that people do. Whereas like in Final Fantasy, your core gameplay is to do the bosses. So it's kind of like if you're playing Elden Ring, you know, it's kind of more fun to just do it blind, right? Because like that's the game. Whereas in WoW, raiding isn't just the game.
Right.
That's how
raiding used to just be the game.
But your guild's gonna have some M+ers in it.
People never blind prog back then.
What the hell, really? I actually don't. I mean, I don't know history.
I mean, dude, like WoD, ain't no fucking way where people.
I mean, when you go
raiding,
through that
no,
thing,
they were not.
Well, it was like the top 10 guilds or 20 guilds did, right? Because like you didn't get a video out until
top 5 for end bosses, because usually as soon as the top 5 killed it, there would be a video. But you're right, the top like 6 through 9 would have been on the boss. Yeah, exactly. Which also, as a side conversation, that era of the game would have been a much more viable time for there to be a more competitive race World First because of that 5 guilds killing it rule. So many more guilds got to problem solve all the way up through the bosses rather than just everyone copying the top team, which is something that streaming has kind of solved. But yeah, you're right. So like a few more guilds at a time, but just the guilds that could. As soon as there's a video out, every single one of those guilds is watching. The different
I assumed it was more of like a nowadays kind of thing, because like on the M+ side of things, for sure, it's actually insane how quickly people pick up the new strategies. Because you know how like M+ is always evolving, right? Like people are always figuring out the new meta strategies, and people figure that shit out so fast that it's in your pugs now. Like you see pugs doing the World First China strat. Although to be fair, a lot of it is because like, you know, Tedos is always making these goddamn videos out there.
That's true. It's how plus 17 Rookery was timed. Yeah,
but also that's because of that. No one's trying to blind progress Mythic Plus dungeons, only come up with their own routes and strats. That everyone is kind of sharing information with each other. That you know that information is just going to be there. Like if you go to a group, you're just enough people are going to see what some other groups who combine all the best things and use it, which is also fun in itself. Like pick the things, you know.
In my screen, I wasn't even in the blue circle, but we're on the stairs. So, you know.
The thing is like what you're signing up for in Final Fantasy with other really good players. By the way, there's a lot of people that are like, you know, mid-tier gamers that do Final Fantasy and don't do it blind because it's not really feasible. But like good players in a smaller and also the smaller group size might be an easier way to do that too, because you can it's easier to get 8 people to commit to doing that than 20. But also you're signing up for, and I've done this with those people. I did key with Evade as well, like one of the at the time was like the hardest ultimate in that game. And we did that, but you were signing up for a week.
I was worried. I thought you guys were still in that priory.
People would do that, and wow. But
I was like, I looked at the guild and I was like, oh wait a minute, there's Theater Fane.
We do 2 weeks of blind progression in WoW, but like no one else is gonna do that. So like it's just not really an option. It's just you're making it longer for no reason. That's what I meant by it's harder. It just takes more time because there's more things to do.
I wonder if it's also because of
where can you break LOS here? Like through like in the back corner or something?
Guild ranks.
There's a thing.
I think that's definitely part of it.
Honestly,
I think that's part of it. Yeah, and so in Final Fantasy, there's definitely there's groups at the top that care about their ranking, but it's less after that. No one really cares.
Zip by
whether you've completed the content or not. And in WoW, it's always like the rank.
Yeah, we just run.
What guild
gear motivates people,
right.
and you get better gear the faster
run
you
right.
clear. So like,
So everyone get
are there
in
going to be a lot
after.
of people like if you want to
Should
gear
honestly
up in
bring these
raids to do
closer.
M+, are you ever going to prog blind and get less gear over time?
That's a good point too. Yeah.
Exactly, and there's no
We don't want to
M+
get any closer
for
because
Final
he'll
Fantasy
summon.
players to go queue up into with their
Okay.
gear. They just have the raid
You know
they
the
have
spot.
next
I
week
don't
with
know
their
the spot.
friends
I've just seen it done.
that they're
Yeah,
already
like
raiding.
it feels like
We just
in
need
WoW,
roar or something.
people are
I have
rushed
my win
to clear
total.
as fast as possible,
The
whereas in
rush.
Final Fantasy, you're just trying to enjoy the entire
You
journey,
ready?
One left.
Yep.
Move him.
and we're not necessarily looking to
Oh,
end it right away.
Oh, I didn't see that guy back
True.
there. Killing Kevin.
All right,
I let
well,
Kevin die.
That's
Oh
officially
my
been
God.
enjoyed
Dude.
the podcast.
The journey.
I was healing
I
him. I
haven't
mean, he.
enjoyed this podcast
I don't
to
know
you
what
guys,
you
but
want.
Oh,
it must,
there's no
as
way.
all things
There's
do,
no
come
way.
to an end.
No.
We'll be back next
It's
week.
too late
for
now.
Another one.
Yep.
Adios.
Use my heal.
Did you have aggro? Oh, I was.
No, he didn't have aggro. The guy just kept shooting him.
That's another good podcast.
Let's go with this conversation. Didn't he promise not to let you die?
I mean, it wasn't my
Is
fault.
there a new episode of The Bench?
Like, if there's like feasible
Going up
way
the
for me to
stairs.
do that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, up. Saw someone jump.
I'm gonna go down the stairs on this next one. To the right. Oh my god, there's people everywhere. Going up the stairs. The next one going up the stairs again.
How much are runes going for? Holy crap. I would have to use all my alchemy.
Let me know when we'll.
Oh my god.
Keep that.
$2K. Oh my god. Is 2K 2K worth all those mats?
Oh, goodbye. Burning rush. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me.
I mean, I can save some concentration by doing the mats. I mean, but what else am I going to use my concentration for, though? Alright, let's do this way. Just in case I need to do something. Saved! Ooh! Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What does this one give me?
Oh. Attaboy. Pump! Pump, Kevin! Pump! Thank you.
Gloomkite.
That's a lucky one.
That's not a lot of gold. Alright. Put this one back on the house. What can we sell it for?
Alright. Surely this won't take us 17 minutes, man.
Why would you always? Why do you jinx us? Why?
He did the thing. He did the thing.
Can I greed for 2200? Let's do that.
think we'll be all right.
Don't stun the ads as soon as they come out. Let me grip them in. Like, you can stun the second set. I think I can grip in third set.
Whew. Right here on phase 2.
Lure drop. Lure drop.
Watch the frontal out there, Steven.
So I just need to focus on these 3 herbs for a while. So I want to get flasks up and everything.
Quick.
Watch that frontal.
Alright, watch the Rammies.
You hate the Rams.
We are fine right here.
Frontal.
Frontal. Somehow hit me. I was behind her. Rams.
Charge. Frontal. I know.
Oh, hello. Ah, fuck, I used everything too. That's my bad.
That's fine. She should be dead.
Yeah, dodged a ram right into a fucking frontal. Or dodged a frontal right into a ram. I'm not sure what one that was. One of the two.
Oh shit. Damn, that's a lot of crit. That's good. So good.
I know,
You're just missing metery, Fatty?
Nope.
Or no, Priory.
That's it.
I'm missing metery.
That's you.
All good, dude. I just didn't know if I could walk by boys over there. I would have just released.
Well, I thought I pressed the res button. I don't know if I canceled it or what happened. I'm not sure.
We didn't time the 11, we timed everything else though, right? Yeah.
Always that stupid boss too. It's the hard one. Priory.
The wings?
I don't know, like yeah, the guy inside the little.
Yeah, it's the ground
Find
effect.
the
It's because we're stacked. Like you want to be.
I'm trying to.
I think
paint
I
off
forget
some
too to call out to
kids.
spread out. It's the worst when everyone's stacked and then everyone, like somebody jumped and got the dot and then they're slowed on that thing. Like
Yeah.
that's almost certain death every time. Unless they have like a pretty big cooldown to stay alive.
Fucking Valor Stones, dude. Jesus Christ.
Are you guys always Valor Stones capped? Or like
Never.
Not capped, the other thing.
4?
I'm capped on everything.
Yeah, these guys are always complaining about they're always needing
Bored.
Valor Stones. I'm like, how?
I would trade you all my Resonance Crystals for your Valor Stones if I could, dude.
Yeah, I would do that. I would do that trade.
I know. That's why I wish I could do it. I got 30,000 of these just sitting around, dude. It's probably pretty close to the exchange, right?
I thought your hunter was better geared, Kevin, not 637.
637. I just put on a new piece.
Oh, you just won the boots?
Yeah, it was 635 before. Plus, I also died my fucking CD in the first boss. Oh, that hurt so bad. That first boss should have been like top damage. Cleaving.
Yeah, that's. Never mind.
Fatty had a kick. He just decided not to. He saw it targeting you. He was like, nope.
Nah, Kevin says it's definitely my fault. That one. The other one wasn't.
The one where the ad was just pelting at him?
Yeah.
He didn't have aggro on it.
Well,
Oh, I was healing.
everyone is so busy about skipping, dude, and there's a guy
Yeah.
just standing back there.
You're just killing Kevin.
I thought he was like an arena master. What happened to that? You can't even 1v1 the guy.
Yeah, sorry. Disappointment.
Where's Tabby been? Oh yeah, today's Monday, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Said tomorrow.
For the third time.
I'm like off one day. I keep thinking today is Sunday.
Tired.
What's that?
I'm tired.
A lot of healing. Cap, do you need to can your mage? What are we doing?
We did one already.
I need to do one more camp alley.
Are we done?
I'll do one more. I mean, unless.
Yeah, coach. I'm ready to pew pew.
Did about a 10. I just need gilded.
pal.
We should do the cleft 9 that I have.
Oh yeah, no way, dude.
Hey Trury, what's up, dude? What are you
You
up
being
to?
7 and 8's no problem yesterday.
Yeah, dude, you're fine.
I have 6 million HP.
Okay,
You're
well,
fine.
you're gonna have to be extra careful
thank
about what
you.
you're sending in.
Or off.
I can't sack Kevin.
I don't care, dude. I'll fuck off.
Nah, I could see you in here, dude. I already got an 8. A 9 doesn't do anything for me.
What, would just even want to go, though?
I don't care either way. I got. What time is it now? 2:30.
Get him in.
I got 2-ish. 2-ish. Right time kill. What are we doing at 8?
9. 9 clef.
9. Okay.
You're in a cleft? Do you need a cleft, Moon?
I need gloves from the cleft. They're haste master.
That works.
Do I need anything at this point? Apparently I don't need 10, so I'm playing for fun right now.
Fun.
So we're going to a cleft.
Yeah, we have 8 workshop or 9 cleft, but we need to fuck off, so we're going to cleft.
I mean, I'll do 8 workshop for raiding.
No, you won't, because I won't.
If you won't, then we'll go to cleft then.
You like workshop? I feel like it's like the easiest one.
I fucking hate that place, dude.
Oh, I DC'd because, you know.
Did you get the freeze?
Oh, dude.
Pachi was like, you can turn on VSync, turn on triple buffering, switch back to DirectX 11. I'll do anything at this point to get rid of the freeze. So I did the same thing.
I do freeze often, but this time it was the dragon flying thing where if you hit like the wrong corner, you'll just
Oh yeah,
fly
yeah,
out
yeah.
for whatever
You
reason.
hit the wrong
Oh,
corner
yeah.
or you launch too fast. I am inside, Riz.
Oh, dude. Thank you.
Pretty much good Honkai again though. Yeah, Honkai is just like maintenance mode. You heard
Like
they're
your skull
doing
function,
2-month patches now instead of 6 weeks. It's 8-week patches now. So there's just like all this extra time
Need
to
that as a
farm.
drop, or?
One more, I don't know where I got that.
Where'd you get what?
Skull flame.
Oh, the shield?
Big money, dude.
That's like a. Were you doing like some old dungeon?
Not that I know of. I don't remember where I got it from. It might have been off of the monthly thingy.
Oh, I wonder if it was during anniversary.
Maybe, yeah. I think so. Because I had a bunch of the stuff that last day is like buy all the things you can buy.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I even playing the throwback event for the current version, which is like a year and a half ago now, you can feel the difference in the part 1 versus the part 2 combat. And part 2 combat is just like cutscene impact.
5, 4, 3, 2.
No,
1.
not the cow. Not the cow. How to get? Oh, I'm fucking wheel size now.
Dude, how dare you?
You're right. I'm even shorter.
Wild Walla. Overpowering roar.
I like the vortex tech there. It's pretty good.
Thank you.
I am out of range.
Wild Walla.
I don't have it for this one though.
Yeah, you probably should save it for this one, honestly. But
Oh no, Goose is doing really good positioning, so for now we're good.
Wild Walla. Overpowering roar.
uninstall DBM and reinstall it or something.
Still not popping up for you?
Mm-mm.
Weird.
Wild Walla.
Yes.
Overpowering roar. Wild
Combine
Walla.
this one.
All of you. Feed on the void.
Overpowering roar.
Let its darkness fill you. I require a target.
Wild Walla. Overpowering roar. Wild Walla. Overpowering roar.
Can jump over that cart, dude. I'm too small now.
Yeah, being a gnome sucks.
Yeah, it's bullshit, dude.
Feed. All
We were doing meadery the other day, and you know
Feed on
the
the
bar where you have to
void.
pick up the drink.
Let its darkness
Yeah.
fill you.
I couldn't pick up the drinks because I
Short
was
to ride.
short. Well, it would say you were out of line of sight to pick it up. I'm like, dude,
That's so fucking good. What the fuck is that?
Wild Walla.
Oh my god, dude.
I need
So Chiruri, are you doing like all 15s and stuff at this point already in the season?
Heavy-handed tactics.
focus card.
I'm having tough time getting past 10s. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to Keystone Legend into this season. Because I feel like I don't pug enough.
Reckless charge.
Mortals. I'll run him out.
scrabbling after any shred.
Oh, sorry. I thought I hit the pillar.
Underhanded tactics.
Art.
Underhanded tactics. Boring handle.
We'll just stop doing that. Accidentally moved my Toto to a really bad spot.
Oh.
Reckless charge.
So I found a secret Moonton build that is not the meta, quote unquote. Doesn't necessarily sim the best, but it gives like really good on-demand prio target damage. And it involves going Astral Communion, which everybody.
Wait.
Am I missing something here?
Did we bug it?
Did it reset? No way, it reset.
It reset, it says respawn.
What?
Man.
What?
Did he charge an edge or something?
I have no idea. I thought we killed it. Wasn't he standing right on the rails? Am I dumb?
Fight Waxbeard.
He reset at 2%.
What the fuck?
Underhanded track ticks. Ignoring single flame. Underhanded track ticks.
Or,
You get charged like the little wall right here next to him.
No god, my god. Let's go, Wick.
Be good disengage, wasn't it?
I mean, did you shadow meld anything?
Nope. Shadow Meld was not on cooldown at the end of that fight.
Underhanded track ticks.
It disengaged that last charge though. That was pretty sick.
Oh my god, now.
Reckless charge.
Move, Wick. No god, my god.
Ignoring single and one-handed track ticks. Underhanded track ticks.
Got one. Move, Wick.
you get hit by the car cannon?
We gotta kill this.
Killing.
Weaklings.
I think
Want me to get him
I think
off, or
Kevin got
we
clobbered
did?
by the small ads.
Really?
Underhanded track ticks.
Stupid weaklings.
I don't.
Excuse me.
Stupid Wick.
I can't res you because I'm in combat, so.
Just get him.
We're both like in perma combat.
Yeah, dude, it's pissing me off.
Didn't trust nobody. So mean.
Does my guy actually go down?
No,
I'm
Pachi!
not gonna risk it.
The freeze! The X11 still freezes!
Surging flame.
Too far away.
Oh my god. I tried to get fancy to feral charge and to skip the fall, and I feral charged right into his circle.
Good stuff.
Hey, this is why you didn't let me go in all those 10s earlier.
Yeah, we can only have one guy falling off
Surging
everything.
flame. Bonk. Quenching
I'll still hear
blast.
you.
2 weeks off, 1 week on. Dude, I wish I could do 2 weeks off, 1 week on.
Quenching blast.
Oh fuck, that ball's mine.
So
He stands still.
yeah,
I
the
got
last time you tuned in, was I working a job yet? I worked I started working retail jewelry, and at first I thought I was really good at it, and technically, I technically am pretty good at it, but damn, it's exhausting mentally. It's mentally taxing.
Fire bat, not wax. Hurts cobalt. I must get closer.
And I have to do truck
Quenching
not
blast.
this week, but next week, I think, just to fill in while
Explosive flame.
they figure out.
Explosive flame.
I think that my store manager and my main replen person has to go to Truck Academy. Quote unquote Truck Academy is what they call it, but it's basically it's like a receiving the new stock workshop or something.
Feed on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
Surging flame.
More like
My flame alights. My fire hungers.
Oh, cool down.
Dousing breath.
Feed it.
Recliner barrage.
You guys got it.
Enkindling
Candles
inferno.
light.
Extinguishing dust. Inside flames.
I think I know what it is, Kevin.
Hmm?
I think I know what it is. I think it's partly that I suck, and partly that I'm so used to playing with people with such higher gears that
Dousing breath.
I'm talking, Kevin.
Whoa.
Sorry.
That was my final health stone.
Recliner barrage.
thank you.
Enkindling
Candles
inferno.
light.
Extinguishing dust.
we should spread out.
Inside flames. Enkindling
Candles
inferno.
light.
Dousing breath.
Yes. Feed. All of you. Feed on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
Recliner barrage. Enkindling
Candles
inferno.
light.
So
Extinguishing dust.
Oh, you guys are all back down.
sorry, I was trying to run my ball.
Inside flames.
Oh, look at that! I caught it. Oh no 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 no! Will! Will! Oh, it wasn't Will. It was Steven. That's not so bad for not having my cooldowns up at the start of that fight. Something's not right though. I feel like I'm missing astral power somehow.
Mortals. Scrabbling after any shred of
One hand
control.
headlock.
Boy.
Ceaseless flame. Massive stomp.
This is it. Court of Candlekin. Teaching a lesson.
Burning candles.
I need to target something first.
Flaming titter. Massive stomp. Burning candles. One hand headlock. Massive stomp.
Please don't.
Burning candles. Massive stomp.
Mortals. Scrabbling after after any shred of control.
Hope we got a mana though.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Ho 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 ho! I did the dynamite trick.
So many jokes, dude. So many jokes.
No take candle. I make you candle.
Paranoid
Okay.
Mind. Dark Flame Pickaxe. Paranoid Mind. Throw Dark Flame.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, you two.
Fury Wolf.
You
Paranoid
guys are dancing over there.
I think
Dark
it's like
Flame
fuck.
Pickaxe. Paranoid Mind. Throw Dark Flame.
Happy feet over here, guys.
Fury Wolf.
You candle.
Paranoid
Yes.
Mind.
Feed. All of you.
Dark Flame
Feed
Pickaxe.
on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
Paranoid Mind.
Okay.
Somebody kick.
I am dead.
Dark Flame.
I'm hurt.
Maybe. Don't die. Pop defensives. I'm not there.
You now.
Paranoid Mind.
I got the back.
Fury Wolf.
You candle.
Paranoid Mind. Dark Flame Pickaxe. Paranoid Mind.
Somebody? Anyone? Type.
Throw Dark Flame.
Mortals.
Paranoid Mind. Fury Wolf.
You now. But I, the king.
Got you. Nice healing will.
No more Candle King. We can be free.
Had a kick roll.
Almost killed it real hard.
The
I'm
darkness.
okay on mana. This isn't that bad to heal.
Dark times are fleeing. Flee to freedom. We can use Big Candle Cart to escape.
Stun them.
I was not paying attention to the kicks. I was just looking at my rotations. Why does it take so long to reload UIs? I'm reloading UI right now. And I think my WoW just crashed.
Suffocating Darkness.
Oh, I'm back.
Suffocating Darkness. Drain Light.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Sort of okay. I see you guys, but the card is not up here. Is that normal?
Oh. Usually not, no. Like, you can't see the cart next to us?
No. The cart that I see is like way back there.
It's actually all an elaborate ruse. We never grabbed the cart.
Mortals. Scrabbling after any shred
Suffocating
of
Darkness.
control.
Drain Light. Suffocating Darkness. Suffocating Darkness. Suffocating Darkness.
Are you able to tell me what that debuff does?
Drain Light.
When you dispel,
Yeah. Just curious.
you think that inflicts damage?
I require a target.
Stay to the right. No.
Am I too close to it? Oh, that's not bad.
Somebody needs to get a.
I need to
Suffocating
target
darkness.
something first.
That is so weird. I see you guys putting the candle in the cart, and the cart is just 20 feet behind us.
Drain light. Suffocating darkness.
Yes. Feed. All of you.
I can't even get a candle.
Feed on the void. Let its
Drain light.
darkness fill you. Quick, grab some dynamite and let's go. Wait for me.
No escape.
I am out of range.
Yeah, Trururi, I just think about how I could just quit my job and just draw stuff at home and try to earn a living that way, even though that's what I quote-unquote have been attempting for the last 15 years and haven't made anything of it. But I could also point out that in the last 15 years there's always been like all sorts of other distractions keeping me from really focusing on my art, between especially video games.
You fell down. There's chains down there.
Try to disengage after the cart ride ends. Here or back to that pit? I think I'm supposed to go back to that pit.
Suffocating darkness.
I really keep them there well as they die.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, during, like, once we're in the air,
I only said that earlier.
when we
'cause
have the momentum.
it's possible to, I think. Could be wrong, but
I should focus on funneling. Oh, what the?
Oh!
kill the one, kill the one.
Too far away.
Cut it back, cut it back, cut it back, cut it back, cut it back.
I'm just spam healing myself.
Got it.
I was scared.
Should've used cooldown, I didn't realize. We're gonna start
That was 4 of them.
chunking.
I don't know these guys. I'm gonna have to do the last reaper.
Suffocating darkness.
That's good, that's good.
Darkness descends.
Oh, man.
Run out.
What's that?
Umbral Slash. All dark strong. AoE incoming.
Yeah. Feed. All of you.
Drain light.
Feed on the void.
Rising
Let
sun.
its darkness
Oh, and looks like it
fill you.
appeared.
Drain light.
Run.
Umbral Slash.
Maybe I can.
Run out. All dark sky.
Thanks for these stats.
Drain light. Drain
These
light.
stats cast. Get ready for it. You don't come in yet.
I have to. It runs out really fast. I got another one.
What?
Shadow blast.
Dude. I like
We have more CDs.
Unbreak slash.
We need a candle.
Small dark scar.
Hats, everyone.
Shadow blast. Drain light. Drain
Did
flash.
you get the purple thing? Please get a candle.
AOE incoming.
Oh, darkness.
Shadow blast.
I got it. Don't worry. I have a purple thing.
Small dark scar.
Thanks, man.
Unbreak slash.
Does it work? Wait, no, I don't know.
Drain light.
And this fight gets so annoyingly chaotic. All I want to do is just tunnel the boss. Alright, let's go gloves. No gloves.
Anybody for neck?
Yes, please.
Oh, my neck sucks balls, dude. Wait, is that neck
Best
suck
in slot.
balls? That is not my best in slot.
Anyone for polearm?
Where's that?
That's a strength pull arm, dude. I'll take it for transmog.
I can't trade it. Can I?
Time to go red.
Never going red.
Oh, so much crit. So nice.
Red, man.
I feel like the spec drops so much.
It does.
Oh, excuse me.
One more or
Just
not?
need weapon on Hunter.
So I'm gonna do like a Loki. I'm not doing it like a 4 or 5, maybe a 6 on Druid. If anybody wants one more key on any character.
I don't think my Demon Hunter is geared enough to do any keys, fortunately. Probably not a bad
Oh,
idea.
to skip the stun. That's smart.
It's past my bedtime now.
Thanks, Kev.
Yeah.
I think I just always have to have balance of all things. And I don't know if Orbit Breaker's doing enough.
Or gun.
Oh boy, you in for a surprise.
A bow or a gun? Why not both?
That gun is fucking expensive, brother.
I owned a rifle once.
Is it? That's for the shit.
Like 35k.
It's the bolts. The bolts are so expensive.
It could be different now. I looked at it 2 weeks ago. So it's been some time, but
No blacksmith on, right?
you got one in the call.
64 bolts? Holy shit.
Yeah.
How much are
right?
bolts?
I don't know. I'm about to look.
Shield your eyes.
Yeah.
What kind of bolts are they?
Handful of bismuth bolt, 234 gold pop. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 14. That's 15K.
Yeah, and it has like 4 other parts.
Yeah. Yeah, she adds up quick on that one.
God damn. Alright, well, I am going to have to get my character to go to a bar and strip for some money.
I found a great way to make gold, dude. You got anyone that's got skinning on them?
Yeah, Hunter Skinner.
Cool. So fly above those bees, and you're gonna find bots pulling like big groups of them. And as soon as they kill them, you just swoop in and skin all of them, dude. I was doing it last night. I got called some pretty Spanish stuff. That's what I'll call it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I play this game like 2 hours every other day, maybe one sometimes.
Yeah. I made 6K in like 20 minutes. You could probably buy your gun in like a couple trips. Or maybe even on your hunter, if you're geared enough, you might be able to do a big pull of your own. Just pop that scent thing and they all come running to you, and you can probably do your own if you don't see anyone out there doing it.
Yeah, Kevin, if you want an AoE farm, I gotta go out there for herbs anyways, and they're always camping my herbs, so I'll just pull a big pull.
Yeah, maybe some other time.
What is this? Well, speaking of which, I finally have some artisan acuity. I need to look up what I need for my alchemy robes.
Alright, 6 floodgate or 5 theater of pain moon?
Floodgate, floodgate, floodgate.
Anyone else?
What do I need?
6 floodgate? Need a healer.
Kyle said he's gonna start healing on that character.
Right.
I don't know if I want Kyle to heal me. Getting beaten by my warrior. I'm not sure we're ready for his healing.
You even beat me, dude. You died, remember? I stole the show.
Dead bodies do 0 DPS, man.
That's exactly right.
Know.
Can you stop saying he died? 'Cause then I feel bad every time it gets brought up.
Can you let him die again, Will? Okay.
It's alright. We'll have a rematch. We'll get another rematch next time. We'll see what my vault says. If I can get 4 piece. I'm still fucking missing 2 more pieces to get 4 pieces. I can say my word can't get any main piece at all.
Dude. I mean, are you... Surely there's enough catalysts to get 4. Are you just saving it for like a hero piece?
No, I just don't have any main pieces to catalyst.
Oh.
Yeah. I have the 2 piece, like they're both mythic, but I don't have any other pieces to catalyst. I have enough charge. Like I have more than enough charge, I just don't have main pieces to catalyst.
I'm wondering if I just need to drop
see what I get in
Hoyogrind in this spec.
I think this week we get the 4th catalyst, though, right?
This week or next week?
I think it's next week.
I feel
think
like
we got
not
one at the
getting
beginning of
2
this
of 2
one.
balance of all things is
Yeah,
too
we
much
got
of a
one this week
DPS
already.
loss.
Fuck.
Oh wait, I have the bolt. What am I doing?
Alright. I'm gonna go to bed.
Hey, dude.
Alright, see ya.
Good night.
Oh, the healer's at. Nobody wants to do a 6 floodgate as a healer. you have a spec moon?
Well, what?
Do you have a healing spec?
Didn't I heal like last
Oh yeah, you did
week?
heal a raid. Yeah. Yeah, Steven, do you have a character to run a DPS on?
He's like 632. I don't think he's ready for that.
Brother, I'm
It's a
6'10".
6. It's a
think it's
6.
fine.
It's fine, dude.
Alright, sure. I'm down. I'll kill time.
Really? Do I pass on this 663 rogue? 664 boomkin? Goodbye. Dude, it's crazy the IO you get for people to do 4s and 6s.
Yeah, 'cause these are the only groups that are getting invites to.
Oh, I guess. When you say it like that, dude, that really hurts. Where are we going?
Dude, I can't get.
Okay. Okay, what?
I can't even pug a 4 on my warlock, even if I tried.
Well,
Lucky man.
Doinby is geared enough to probably tank at least 4s, so.
Moon click.
The next week I could probably tank some for you if you'd like.
You tanking 10s and Doinby?
Oh hell no, 10s, what
You
the
ready?
hell? Hell no.
Yeah, I need you guys to carry me to my portals. That metery.
I can heal 10s. I can possibly DPS them. You know, questionable on that one, but
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Oh, I still have a sushi special.
Fuck, I've got like no pots, no nothing on this guy.
Neither.
Moon, I'm symbiotic, Cora.
Okay, I'll symbiotic sleepwalking.
Oh, sick, dude.
I don't know if it's gonna do much. Oh, it might, because I'm Resto, right? And Resto has like a lot of passive self-healing.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Small pool, then big pool with hero.
Trick shot. Trick shot. Bloodthirsty tackle. Trick shot. Trick shot. Bloodthirsty tackle. Trick shot. Bloodthirsty tackle.
Enrage.
Trick shot. Trick shot. Bloodthirsty cackle. Trick shot. Bloodthirsty cackle.
Enrage.
Bloodthirsty cackle. Trick shot.
I do not have a tongue.
So,
Watch your step.
Shredation.
Mortals.
Surveying beam. Wind up.
Render
Go
on you.
after any
Run.
shred of control.
I don't know if you guys can reach my
Watch your
orb.
step.
Shredation.
I get it.
Wind up.
I'm trying this spot that I learned from the bench. They said if you stand on these boxes, you can't get hit by your shredders.
Oh,
You got
that's cool.
you got
I like
you got
that.
I got it.
Surveying beam. Wind up. Surveying beam.
Laser on you.
The
Run.
fuck's going on? There we go.
Surveying beam. Wind up. Rapid construction. Surveying beam.
Feed. All of you. Feed on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
Surveying beam.
You know, back in Classic, I leveled from 1 to 60 as Resto. I remember being in Hinterlands, like meleeing things with the two-hand staff, killing them while they were rooted and moonfired and dotted up.
Watch your step.
I thought I was doing so good.
RPGG. Trick shot. Trick shot.
Frontal.
Size inspection. Trick shot. Trick shot.
Watch your
Trick
step.
shot. RPGG.
Frontal.
Surprise inspection. Trick shot.
Watch your step.
Trick shot.
Scrabbling after any
Frontal.
shred of control.
Trick shot.
Frontal.
Surprise inspection.
I got innovate.
I'm gonna teach you a lesson.
Electro crush.
Tangle.
Doom storm. Doom storm.
Run
Sonic
out.
Doom.
Almost pulled those two mobs again.
Electro crush. Maximum distortion.
Run out.
Jump start. Jump start.
Mortals. Scrabbling after any shred of control.
Mobilize mecha drone. Excessive electrification. Electro crash.
This boss is so good.
Doom storm. Excessive electrification. Excessive electrification. Sonic boom. Doom storm. Maximum distortion. Doom storm. Doom storm. Electro crash. Doom storm. Maximum distortion.
Run out.
I got innovate man.
Maximum distortion.
Oh, thank you.
Electro crash. Silver
Attack
rock
shield.
barrier. Jump start. Jump start.
Mortals. Scrabbling after any shred of control.
drones. Electro excessive electro. Doom storm.
Run
Sonic
out.
boom. Maximum distortion. Doom storm. Doom storm. Doom storm. Electro crush. Maximum distortion.
I can't get that one far away. Can anyone?
Doom storm. Sonic boom. Doom storm. Doom storm. Maximum distortion. Electro
Can you get that
crush.
one too?
Kill low
Attack
block
shield.
barrier. Doom storm. Sonic boom. Doom storm distortion.
Oh my gosh, you will die.
Good shot.
Yes,
Kill the last mob.
all of you.
Electro crush.
I'm not really mad. Just disappointed.
I've got nature's visual up moving. It's not a lot, but it does help. Somebody click on that. Someone can drink.
Clicky, clicky.
RPGG. Trick shot. Warp blood.
Oh.
Watch your step.
RPGG.
Stone.
Trick shot.
Yes,
Trick shot.
feed
Warp blood.
all of you.
Trick shot.
Feed on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
Oh, that's my ball.
Watch your step.
RPGG.
Somebody click on the thing.
Yeah. I think Will got it.
I did.
Surveying beam.
Laser on you. Run.
Rapid construction.
Careful, somebody aims at the edge.
Surveying beam. Surveying beam.
Mortals, scrabbling after any shred of
Rapid
control.
construction. Rapid construction.
No. Was that like a bomb went off and there was like a pulsing dot?
Yeah.
Crab explosion.
Crab explosion.
That's me, dude. I didn't die. What the fuck? Rude.
Watch your step.
Not yet. I'm about to right here.
Shredation.
Run.
Flamethrower.
Well, well.
Did you know there's a Warlock Gate skip for this?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Watch your step.
Tradition.
Watch your step.
Surveying beam.
Laser on you.
Tradition.
Run.
Surveying beam.
Flamethrower.
Mortals. Scrabbling after any shred of control.
Watch your step.
Tradition.
Laser on you. Run. Watch your step.
Tradition.
Flamethrower. Flamethrower. Watch your step.
I need to target something first.
Let me know when you're ready, man.
I'm ready.
Welcome to the fire and ready.
Flamethrower.
BBFG.
Here?
Big bottom boom.
How many bombs right next to each other?
Gel. Barrel and charge.
I have to charge them through here?
Flamethrower.
Man.
Oh my gosh, we missed.
Oh, somebody was standing there. Should've just...
Barrel and charge. Kinetic
Someone took
explosive
it.
gel.
It's on the back.
Target you.
Oh, I only got one?
Oh, no.
The fuck?
BBFG.
Yeah, you just felt too fast. Okay, there's gonna be an explosion.
No, the circle looked like it was over both of them. I thought I had them both.
Okay.
Explosive gel.
1, 2.
Barrel and charge. Barrel and charge. SG.
Easy.
Good job, Brad.
Barrel and charge.
Oh, deep sunburned.
He needs more damage. Stop on her. Stop on her. Stop on the little one.
They're good dogs, Bront.
I need to smell them. That hurts a lot.
Flamethrower.
BBFG.
Stop on the little guy.
Big bottom boom. Kinetic explosive gel.
1, 3.
Barrel and
Go ahead.
charge.
No!
BBFG.
Target you.
Barrel and charge. Barrel and charge. Kinetic explosive gel.
Run.
BBFG. Big bot divided duo.
Like you said.
I'll do the pile.
Got the fire.
Harpoon. Jettison kelp. Harpoon. Jettison kelp. Plant C-Arena charge. Restorative algae.
Gotta heal off when people move.
Restorative algae. Plant C-Arena charge. Restorative algae charge. Jettison kelp.
Scrabbling after
Oh,
any shred
shit.
of control.
Jettison
I
kelp.
cannot drink more at this time.
Harpoon. Restorative algae. Plant C-Arena charge. Harpoon. Restorative algae.
A for effort there, Steven. A for effort.
Restorative algae.
What?
That's you. Hit,
What'd I do?
Did you run into the bomb?
That was me. I ran into the bomb like 3 times. And
Let
then
me go cat form.
when I cat formed on my way back in, I cat formed into another bomb.
Jettison kelp. Restorative algae.
Just like how we started the instance.
Restorative algae. Restorative algae. Jettison kelp. Jettison kelp. Restorative algae. Jettison kelp.
I get knocked back into.
Plant bombs.
Oh. Oops.
You go clockwise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sludge floss.
Yes. Feed. All of you.
Watch your step.
Feed on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
Watch your
Awaken the
step.
swamp. Sludge floss.
Watch your step.
Oh, that is not clockwise.
Or just travel distance, sorry.
Watch your step.
Sludge floss.
Watch your step.
Mortals.
Watch your step.
Scrabbling after any shred of control.
Sludge floss.
Watch your step.
I
Tell
saw
me,
that.
what?
I saw
Watch your
that.
step.
Is that right? Run this way. Oh wait. I broke it. Never mind. Get lucky.
Sludge floss.
Watch your step.
This guy, dude. Going
Watch
right.
your step.
Trolls. You guys rush right there.
Okay.
No.
You think, Kyle?
Oh, the hardest boss in here, dude. Oh, looking forward to
Watch
this.
your step.
I can't see.
Frontal.
Splash.
AOE incoming.
Feed on the void. Let its darkness fill you.
Watch your step. Frontal.
Splash.
AOE incoming.
Careful in that corner,
Dude, this-
Grizz. That
Dude,
it's
he
a
got
very,
super close.
It's a line of sight spot.
Yeah, that fucking
Watch your step.
Dude,
that cable there, dude. My camera.
he just got so close.
Splash.
What's the matter, buddy? He had plenty of room.
That's how I died that one time, Grizz. I was like, I went behind the cables and I was trying to get around, and there was like a bubble blocking my way.
Scrap any shred of control.
Overcharge. Overcharge. Surprise inspection.
Somebody kick that guy on the bridge.
Overcharge. Surprise inspection. Overcharge.
Why am I taking so much damage?
You had the dot.
Surprise inspection.
Oh, now I have the dot.
Too bad that I've timed this on 10 and had no idea that there was a dot there.
I know.
Overcharge.
I only see it now because being a healer, I can see all dispellable debuffs.
Yes,
Overcharge.
is there a dispellable debuff there? There must be, and I just don't remember.
Oh, yeah, I found this hallway quite a few times, so checks out.
It's not true.
Surprise inspection.
Dude, stop bullying me, man.
Overcharge. Surprise inspection. Surprise inspection.
Watch your step.
Okay. Oh,
Watch your step. Watch your step.
I guess I should have symbiosis will.
Maybe.
Dude, I swear, me and Dynamite are the same same WoW player. They're like,
Watch your step.
Yes. Feed. All of you. Feed on the void.
they're like idiot
Let
savants.
its darkness fill you.
Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your step.
Names.
You having fun?
The hallway of doom.
Hi, man. Let me know when.
Soon I shall have the power I require.
Drinking.
Oh,
If you slow.
You
Oh.
dare question me?
AOE incoming.
Gigas.
Stay away from lines.
Angry punch.
Defensive.
You dare pit your wits against mine?
Angry punch.
Oh, I hate all of you guys. I'm dead.
Deep as that.
There was like 2 at the front.
AOE incoming. Stay away from lines.
Yeah, but I leap. I usually go to the back to get them.
Don't usually go to the back. Just get to the ones that's closest.
No, I always because the melee can go to the closest one.
you're the melee.
Angry punch.
Yes, sir.
Deep as that.
Dude, done the same thing for tens and everything. It's never been an issue.
Yeah, because you're usually partied with 2 to 3 melee.
Weakens heart.
Fine, dude, I'll take this one.
No, because the thing is, Moon, he's gonna punch me, right?
Uh-huh.
So I need to go see. Like somebody just took that other one. I'm gonna die again.
Just take the melee one. There's like 3 up there.
I can't take the melee one because he will punch me.
It's not gonna kill you.
He punches you off the platform. That's how I died.
AoE incoming. Stay away from lines.
So I used this thing right behind to get punched against the wall, and I used the backside to get punched right in the corner there.
Alright, can you ping the one that you're gonna go to?
Oh, there's like a million in the middle.
Yeah, but don't.
Oh, that's
you
my
can't,
bad. I didn't.
you can't
I
zap.
know. Thanks,
you can't
dude.
zap
No.
them.
Okay, just keep saying
I'll just keep kiting. Finish the boss.
Defensive.
Our agreement stands. For now.
Weapon.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
an upgrade from 626.
Turbo Tiller. That's a good cape. Oh wait, that's the same one I'm using already.
Good stats for you too.
Yeah, and avoidance.
Yo, Volatile Serum from last year is actually still kind of sick. The syringe from that one boss.
Well, thanks, guys. It's a lot of keys. I think I've run like 15 keys today.
Oh fuck.
But like Ojo whispered me in his group's like, hey, we need a 5th. So I think I did 4 keys with them.
Keystone Beast out here.
10 in one day is quite a lot.
Good damage, guys.
Best I've done yet.
Great to see. Kyle 6'11".
And ugly, so who cares?
Jesus Christ.
Dude, Kevin was so mad he died. So funny.
Or Kevin. It's honestly just jarring how squishy he is compared to everybody else. That's the problem. I think everybody's like decent, and then he gets hit by one thing, and it's just.
I just laugh because, I mean, don't laugh too hard, but you know, like, whenever we run with Big, like last season, he would always be the furthest away. So Vig would not get heals on him, so he would always just fall over and dead.
thing is, I have chain heal, so like it automatically just jumps him if he's low. It means he's just dying very fast.
I don't think he's in range for your chain heal.
It has a huge range. I would be surprised. I'd be literally shocked if he was not.
Dude, there were some of those pulls where I thought I was too far away, and I'd start walking up, and I'd look behind me, and he was further back than I was.
Yeah, Kevin's really far.
Hmm. I'm gonna tell his ass to scoot up then.
Then he dies. It's never ending. Gotta make an authority of depths.
Three more.
Oh, I don't have that edge yet.
God. It's all that. Dude, these lazy fox, dude. Oh my god. The guys doing SOD said this was going to be a whole new zone. It's literally just the Death Knight zone. Like the old starter zone.
Oh, nice.
Fucking Jesus Christ.
Has to have different stuff in there, right? There's no way it's just literally 1-to-1.
The town looks almost identical. There's different NPCs in there and shit, but
That's what I meant mostly.
yeah. There's like there's a spot for a bank and a new auctioneer and all your profession stuff in there. And
I had to do everything on the Siren Isle for my ring, even on an alt.
That's a good question.
You just have to do the ring part.
Yeah, not everything. You need to do all of the upgrades, but
Yeah.
every gem that you've already unlocked, you can just buy.
I'm gonna have to get that.
Just have to do Genshin dailies now.
Yeah, yours is pretty good. I don't think it'll take you that long either. Like an hour. Get some Valor Stones out of it too, probably.
Oh, you sold me.
Is it good for Ellie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can upgrade stuff, probably.
Oh, so I do want a staff, huh?
Yep.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
How come?
Just better.
Who makes staffs?
Vig can make the 675 staff.
Is it enchanters?
I think it's inscriptionist.
Inscriptions?
Yeah. Stacking all my gold.
4-piece tomorrow?
What's that?
Is it 4-piece tomorrow? Maybe, possibly, hopefully.
Are you Warlock?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Fucking 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Holy fucking downtime, dude. Oh.
What?
What are they adding?
Sod.
New raid?
Yep. New zone. The raid comes out Thursday.
New zone.
Yeah.
Wow. Alright, guys. I'm going to bed. You guys have a good night. See you tomorrow if you guys are on.
Yeah. Have a good one, dude.
A new legendary weapon quest line.
Absolutely. Are you ready
New
for
Warriors,
Ashbringers?
Hunters, and Paladins, dude.
Yeah, you hear that? You hear that middle class there? That you just said out loud?
The Hunters are never getting it, dude.
I think you're absolutely wrong. I think hunters get it first. Because who else needs it, dude? Warriors? Fucking no. Ret Pallies?
Didn't
Who
they?
gives a
Yeah,
shit?
Warriors and Ret Paladins just had a legendary at the end of Dragonflight. Where's the caster legendary?
No. Talking about Sod, dude.
Oh, saw it. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Ashbringer's coming.
Oh, Ashbringer. The trash
The
bringer.
top DPS that does melee damage is Hunter.
Well, whatever it is.
So
Warriors.
Every weapon is a hunter weapon.
Didn't you say though you're never gonna weave though?
I'm not. I want it mostly so the other two hunters don't get it.
Okay.
The other hunters have prio, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know, dude. They're both pretty bad.
Yeah, but
Will, one of those hunters is that shaman from my retail raid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. And the other one is a guy that said retail was too complicated for him. So,
I mean, in comparison to that game, I kind of agree with him, but
putting on the shoes in the morning's too complicated for him, dude. In comparison, holy fuck.
Assad is getting pretty complicated, I must say.
There's sometimes 2, even 3 mechanics in a whole raid now.
Well, I mean, aside from like raiding.
Oh,
just the
yeah.
systems and like.
Yeah. Dude, the stuff before Nax was a lot of bullshit. Way too much bullshit.
New Avalon, huh?
Yeah. How would you like to venture to the Death Knight starting zone?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
how do you guys feel about these? I'll link them to you, Steven. Separately,
Sure.
since you're not in guild.
I could be in guild, dude. Invite me. This character's not in a guild.
I don't know if I can.
Maybe not you, dude, but GM Junior over here definitely could.
I'm not on.
Oh.
There you go.
Ah, thank you.
In fact, I'm on and waiting before I go to bed.
I don't think so, pal.
Oh, another night of this, dude? This is my
Fine,
favorite way
fine,
to cool down.
fine. You know, I'll take you out if you want. If you truly want.
What do you like?
There
Me
we go.
on?
I look in guild chat.
Oh, right, I can see the old stuff now. I think I have those. Or I
Really weird.
had them on something, yeah. That seems shitty. I think.
I have no idea.
It's hard to tell.
They're very weird.
It's like 5 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown, like big whoop. Who gives a fuck? But maybe if you've got like, dude, I don't even know. I don't know what shamans do enough for to matter. Maybe it could be nice on your.
Well, it's a class.
Oh right, so for your warlock.
I don't think they would be good on warlock at all. I don't
No,
think.
that's also the spot that you want one of your crafted items. Pretty sure. I'd have to look at mine. I forget where my second one is. Guess technically you could put it anywhere, but dude, the music in this game is a fucking fever dream and a half. Holy shit, dude.
Rhymes?
Yeah.
Well, losing over and over again is also probably a fever dream for him.
Shut up.
Hey, Will was top damage on this last one.
Yeah, I was. You're right.
I'm like 40 eye level under him.
Yeah, with uncapped AoE.
You know, that being said, you do an insanely good DPS per eye level. Alright, I'm gonna hop off. I got one more game I gotta do dailies in, and then I'm gonna go to bed because I gotta be at work tomorrow at 11.
Alright, sounds good, man. Thanks for the runs. Catch you later.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
Just gonna speed run Genshin dailies because I just want to go lay down. I did Zenless tap dailies. Probably not gonna spend stamina, and then I did Star Rail tap dailies. Watching the Ross Draws my side of the story video on the side. Jeez, that's a lot to take in. Alright, let's get some casual Genshin grind dailies in so I can go lay down.
手加減なしよ。
石煙に葬られよ。
ということですよ。
燃えよ。
Uh-oh, I'm stuck. One more combat one, please.
止める勇気はあるか。
行くよ。はっ、ダイビングヒープ。名を照らす炎よ、闇を滅せよ。大火山おろし。せい。やっ。はあ。遅刻遅刻。ダイビングヒープ。はあ。はあ。せい。星と深淵を目指せ。ようこそ冒険者協会へ。星と深淵を目指せ。ようこそ冒険者協会へ。無事今日の依頼を。
史上最大サイズなんだ。慣れないとこでは地元のガイドが宿った方がいいぞ。
Sick. That's crazy. All this stuff is like 7 days from now. Oh man, not enough time. All right, I'm gonna go to bed. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll figure this shit out another day.